and right back down the aisle. How far do you go with no guarantee, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. The sun is out. It is sun time, ladies and gents. We're live from Manchester Airport, bringing you all of the aviation action for the next few hours. Welcome into the midweek show. How are we all doing, guys? And look who it is. We have Captain Mark with us today in the studio. How are you doing, Sunshine?
All right, fella.
Yeah?
Bad. How
You
Good
brought
to
the
see
sun back with you.
I
Have you
did,
been
mate.
flying?
I did, yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Just in time for the
Appreciate
strong winds tomorrow.
You what?
Just in time for the strong winds tomorrow.
And up on the top, we got Mr. Brownbill, as always. I'm pretty sure that coat will last. I give it 20 minutes, guys. What do we give it? 20 minutes?
Probably not even that, to be fair. 20 seconds.
20 seconds. There we go. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, over on the south side, we have Mr. Matt Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's well this fine Wednesday morning. Beautiful and sunny over here.
And what a way to kick the show off. How are you doing, mate? You good?
All good, thank you, mate. I hope everyone's well in the studio there.
Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Loving it. Sun's out. We got dual camera operations, guys. Heavy aircraft departing. Awesome aircraft arriving. And we're going to be bringing you two completely unique locations from both sides of the airfield here at Manchester Airport. Enjoy it, guys. This 2-week Dreamliner first to depart to kick off today's show.
Yeah, the TUI Dreamliner heading off to Antalya in the south of Turkey. What a great aircraft to fly that route on, to be fair. Not too long of a flight through the usually long-haul aircraft, Dreamliner.
A very good morning to everybody tuning in the chat. And Barbara, thank you very much for tuning in as well, saying, looks a lot lighter on this side of the airport. Please search for some props. We absolutely will. I'm sure we'll have plenty of props for you on today's show, Barbara.
We have loads.
And yeah, if you've not seen this before on our channel, I know you're fairly new to checking us out. I think you checked us out when we hosted Mac Aviation. We've actually got cameras on both sides of the airport today, so as you can see, the shot here of the Ryanair from the RVP, which is Andy Camp, who's on the roof, and we also have a second shot, which you can see in your picture-in-picture there, from the south side of the airport, and it's currently having a look at the A380. So we'll be bringing you both awesome shots of the arrivals, taxis, and departures on today's midweek show.
Yeah, super excited. How about we introduce our guest then properly? I mean, I think most people probably know who he is, but I mean, do you want to...
I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
He just appeared here this morning and said, you got a headset?
Well, I don't even know who I am.
But a very warm welcome. We've got Captain Mark. A lot of you guys know who he is. He's a long-term supporter, I would say, of the channel. And the man behind the Pilot Explains series here on Airliners Live. If you've not seen that yet, make sure you go and check it out. And you're a commercial Airbus pilot based here at Manchester, aren't you?
Yep, I am, yeah. I've been here 4.5 years now.
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah, nice to see you lot again. Been some good comments on the video. Everyone seems to be enjoying it. That's good. Had a bit of fun doing that, really, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. If you haven't seen the latest video on the Pilot Explains series, guys, make sure you go and check that out.
Yep, and watch it till the end as well.
Yeah, make sure you don't skip away till before the end, guys, because there's a little gem at the end there. Something a bit, a bit funny. We got some behind the scenes video of that, which we'll put in the VIP lounge later on this afternoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good fun, very good fun to film, and I think quite a good video actually.
Yeah.
So
I was speaking to Sam yesterday, and she was super busy yesterday, so she didn't have a chance to watch the video. And she said, "What happens at the end? Why is everyone talking about the end? Like, what happens? Just explain it to me, because I haven't got time to watch it." I was like, "I can't explain it, honestly. Like, the more I explain it, the more confusing it will be." Yeah. There's a hammer involved. There's a chicken. There's a Christmas tree. I don't know. Just watch it.
Mouse.
Yeah. There's just all sorts.
Just watch it, okay.
Ryanair to depart next on the south side. Mrs. Airliners Live's in the chat. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mrs. Airliners Live.
Charlie, what's going on then? That Ryanair's on its way to Budapest. And we're seeing all different colours in the chat today in YouTube. Is that new?
Oh, I think that's only on desktop on certain browsers and stuff.
Okay.
I can't remember. Is it like red and stuff?
Oh, here you go, Barbara. First prop. Here it is. And we've got the Ryanair departing in the picture-in-picture as well.
Yeah.
Just for your info, picture-in-picture is now bottom left, Brownbill.
Okay.
I had a move around. I had a switch.
Spring clean-out.
We did.
Looks like a Loganair Shortbread Airlines, Etihad, coming in. Here on 2-3 right today.
Carl asking if you're down for any summer routes.
I just saw that, yeah. When I'm off to, I think I've just got Santorini this week.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that. I don't know. I'll find out when I get my roster. I've got an Alicante next week. I think where I'm going. You get a roster on the 17th of each month. Tells you what you're doing the next month.
Yeah.
And it normally all changes by the time you get round to it. But, yeah, it'll be a busy one. It's busy now. I'm up to nearly maximum hours for the month, so it's going to be a busy summer.
Good.
I saw that Ryanair had the Scimitar winglets retrofitted. I see Jet2 have got one. Actually, it's here. They got it from Sunwing.
Oh,
They've just had it painted up, and it's here at the moment. Obviously, not like a proper airliner like that, but it is somewhere.
On the old Mac cam. Oh, there you go. We can actually follow this all the way in, which is really nice. Mac cam can see this being pushed in. all the way into the hangar, actually. Into the hangar, into the run-up bay. So the good sound is, ladies and gents, right. I'm going to walk out of this room and I'm going to walk back in again, right, and then I'm going to try again. All right, guys.
This 757 you see is going into the engine test bay.
Thank you.
And it's most likely going to have some tests done to the engine. Now, Mark, is that something that's quite common for airliners? Because I only ever really see Jet2s going in there, maybe the occasional Ryanair and things. Why so? Why do you think that is?
I've no idea. I mean, certain airlines have their maintenance facilities at other places. You know, people like EasyJet, for example, would have a lot of their stuff done at Luton or Gatwick. Even, you know, Southend and some other places. I think sometimes they send them to Sofia. With here, I do see Jet2 in there quite a lot. So I suppose their engineers must have a you know, some sort of deal to use that there.
Yeah, they have the maintenance base here as well, don't they, Jet2? I know.
Yeah.
Didn't Thomas Cook have one back in the day as well here at Manchester, and obviously previously other airlines? But it must just be down to the maintenance base here, and because I do see the occasional other airline using it. Like I said, I've seen Ryanair's and things in there, but I think they're more for just like, you know, they need to do it now. They need to just check everything's okay.
Yeah.
And you know what would happen in there? Like, why would they be, you know, going into that particular bay rather than just?
It protects the blast from the engines. I'll try, if I remember later, I'll put a picture up on the VIP lounge of it. But there's an area around the engine where you have to have protections. Obviously in front of it because you don't want to get sucked into it, but also behind because there's an awful lot of thrust coming out the back of it. And you can go in there and you can run the engines up to quite high power. We're limited normally on a taxi to 40%.
Okay.
You're not really supposed to go over that just while you're normally taxiing. And under normal circumstances, you wouldn't, even if you were really, really heavy. So there you can spool the engines up quite a lot and not worry about damaging anything that's behind you. I do remember on my base training years ago, the captain, we were at St. Vrouec on the north part of France. And as he was turning the aircraft around, he used so much power it damaged a islander that was behind the aircraft.
Oh, wow.
There was a few problems there, I think. But, so yeah, it's just so you can run them up and do all the checks you need to do.
Yeah.
It's not something, you know, normal airline pilots get involved in. It's normally engineers who go there. You might have a pilot on board, but even, you know, the engineers can even taxi the aircraft or it's been towed, so you don't normally have pilots there when they do it.
We're not going around the terminal going, you can fly a 757.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I'll be sitting there going, me, I'll have a go again.
And Nathan Johns, welcome back. 2 months of business class membership, saying high hopes that you guys will hit 500,000 subscribers by Sunday. Yes, fingers crossed.
That would be nuts.
And Rachel, thank you very much for the very kind message in the chat, saying just wanted to say that you guys do an amazing job. And I love Planespotting, and we recently found this channel. Captain Mark pointed us towards it. There you go. Thank you very much.
Hi, Rachel and Ben. Yeah, they're friends from our church in the northeast. And Rachel's just been in hospital. She's not been well, bless her. So she seems to be doing better today. So hopefully we'll be meeting up next time I'm back up north.
Yeah. Good.
Get well soon, Rachel.
Terry Edwards, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, saying great video. Mark's a natural.
He really is. Yeah.
And Dan Bond returning for 13 months of Airliners Live membership, saying good morning, Martin, Andy, Matt and Mark. Hope you're all well. Keep up with the good work. Thank you very much, guys, for all the support coming in this morning. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to the midweek show. We're bringing you 2 completely unique camera angles here from Manchester Airport, trying to bring you all of the best views. So stick with the channel for the next few hours as we entertain you, hopefully, and bring you all of the aviation in the sun. We've just seen the Brussels Airlines arrive in from Brussels, and on the taxi out over on Matcam, we've got the TUI 737-800. Where's he going? It's in Newcastle.
Is it?
Yes,
probably,
in Newcastle.
380's pushing as well.
Do you want to jump on, Mark and
get a lift back?
Yeah, I'd love to.
But here we go. Don't go anywhere, folks, because the Emirates A380 is pushing back, so not long to wait until we see an awesome Southside departure of the Emirates A380.
King of the Skies about to depart. And speaking of props earlier, I don't see this very often, but just in front of the A380, taxiing out is one of the quite rare sightings at Manchester of the Aer Lingus Classic colours on the ATR there. Really nice to see.
A nice prop departure coming up very soon then as well.
Yeah, I actually really like that colour on the... Both, I think, are really, they're good. I'm not saying that either one is bad, but yeah, looks really smart, I think.
Just had a message here from Aviator Dude, Lyndon, the guy I work with. Is really, really good lad. He's got his navigation exam this afternoon.
Hey, good luck with that.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Good luck.
He'll be fine. Carl's asking, we'd be interested in a pilot explains about the health impact of flying to pilots, how you keep healthy, etc.
Well, I guess you could talk about medicals and stuff, but I don't think there's a lot. I mean, is there a lot to talk about there? I mean,
there can be, yeah. It's not a healthy lifestyle. It's really not.
I think that's down to the hours and
the long hours, the changing your body clock, the window circadian low that I talked about on the limitations video, the radiation that you get exposed to, the stress levels going up and down.
The radiation?
Yeah, because you're up there all the time, and they actually monitor your radiation levels, how much you're exposed to, and it can be an issue. So that's one thing you have to keep an eye on.
Sound like someone just won the lottery at the RVP here then, doesn't it?
Well, they got that excited over that. They'll get really excited when the 380 goes, won't they?
Iberia Express from Madrid touching down. Bit of a floater there on the A320 with the sharklets. That classic engine reverses there too.
And Simon Thomas, we've probably the best question in the chat so far. So, morning. What are those pies which you love? Which I nearly bought in Asda earlier. Listen, mate, don't be trying to bait us with your bingo cards.
I do love
a good pork pie.
I was going to say an apple pie, but go on then.
Pork pie with black pudding?
Go on. And Tony P, the Garage MC, gifting 5 Airliners live memberships to the community. Thank you very much, Tony. And that's gone to Barbara. There you go, Barbara. Enjoy that free membership. Dot Brownlow, Jack Scarborough, Aguaya Sadonas, Andrew Dickinson, all receiving gifted memberships. There you go. Enjoy.
Huge. Thank you, Tony. It's really kind of you.
And Barbara asking, do you have a camera on Southside too? Yes, we do, Barbara. Yep. So we've got 2 completely unique cameras coming into the sim here. I'm going to show you maybe a little bit of behind the scenes. If can I? Is it too? It's too bright. I can't show you my screen, I'm afraid. But yes, we have. Actually, we're running 4 cameras today. So camera number 1 is Andy. And we're currently looking at the A380 from the Runway Visitor Park. Camera number 2 is probably the best looking camera, I'd say, Myanmar. There we go, looking fresh. Camera number 3 is Andy up on the roof. And camera number 4 is Matt Smith over on Southside. And if Matt Smith zooms in on our position at the RVP, and we zoom in on Matt Smith's position on the south side, we will be able to show you guys.
Maybe after this ATR goes out.
Yeah.
Got a good question here from Erica. She's asking about the video. Am I solely responsible for inspecting the plane, or there's multiple people with that responsibility? Well, yeah, what we do is whoever's flying the aircraft will be on the aircraft setting it all up, and the other pilot will walk around the aircraft doing the inspection. But every day it will be inspected by engineers. They'll do what's called a daily inspection, and they'll sign the technical log to say that it's been done. Any defects will be listed, and the engineers have a far greater understanding of it than we do. But we do a general walk round. We have a look at the tyres, make sure there's no damage anywhere, check the probes. Whereas the engineers will go in and check oil levels and hydraulic levels and all that. But it's, every flight, one of the pilots will walk around the aircraft and inspect it.
Yeah. Bergthik, thank you very much for the Twitch Tier 1 sub, mate. 17 months of membership. Thank you very, very much. And Cougar tuning in from Australia. Got my new PC power supply installed. Nice one, dude. Hope you're enjoying it. Free Fly VA, welcome. Mehmet, Faceless Twitch, welcome, dude. And CPB, welcome in. If you are tuning in on Twitch, a very warm welcome. And if you did just receive a gifted membership off Tony, please go thank you in the chat. But there you go. You're not going to get a better view of the prop departure than this, I'd say, Barbara Aer Lingus Retro Scheme ATR. Here we go. Cheers, Brent. Saying nice show. Thank you, dude.
Looks like the gear pins are being removed for the A380. There's a little bit of a delay there in doing so. Got the thumbs up, removed the gear pins, and now the aircraft is almost ready to start its taxi. You can see on main cam the chap is going to show off the pins to the flight deck.
Lord Suit Travel have said they're out going out to Hurghada on the 17th through 30th to have a smashing birthday. He's hoping I do the honours. I am on standby that day, so who knows?
It's a long flight.
Is this a Malta Air Max by any chance?
Looks like it, yeah.
And don't worry, guys, we are keeping an eye on the A380. It's not currently moving yet. As soon as that starts to shift, we'll switch across. Freddie, good morning or good afternoon, wherever it is for you tuning in from Australia. And Roy says, good morning, a heads up tomorrow night. A Qatar A380 may be due in at 9 o'clock and staying until Sunday, leaving at 8:20. Oh. Roy,
what's that about?
Mate, that is some high-level info, Roy. Thank you very much, mate. We will definitely check in for that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
But if you are enjoying today's show, make sure you smash a like for us, guys. And I've just got completely thrown off what I was going to say because Barbara has just destroyed the chat, ladies and gentlemen, with a huge Airliners Live donation, a mega bong coming in from Barbara, the huge $100 donation. Barbara, thank you so much. We'll get this Malta Air out and read that massive donation out. Thank you so much. That's unbelievable. Thank you very much.
And Fan Chen saying that the testing bay is used by all the airlines, but usually on nights. So I'm normally flying, so I wouldn't know. Nice one.
This Malta Air looks like it's going to hold. So Barbara's with the huge $100 donation. That's incredible. Thank you very much, Says. For all who know me, I do love the props. Thanks for the close-ups. My gift for your efforts. Glad to be a member, and thanks for talking to me. Very delightful. Thank you. It's an incredible donation, Barbara, and it's great to have you with us as well. Thank you very much for tuning in today. And like I say, we'll bring you the very best views that we possibly can for today's show. So feel free to stick with the channel, and thanks again for the massive donation. It really does help cover the cost of these shows. We try and push the boundaries of live aviation as much as we can, and donations do help us to keep improving, so thank you very much.
Freddie's saying anyone in the market for 717 Qantas has a fleet of them for sale now. There's a good friend of mine I know from the BMX world, and he also did some of my Airbus training years ago when I went on the Airbus. He used to be at Norwegian. He's gone out to Qantas to bring in the A220 fleet and something else they're bringing in as well. But he's supervising the introduction of this new aircraft, so that's why they're flogging the 717s.
Right, okay.
The Qatar might be for the coronation. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a strange aircraft, though, because Qatar, I'd imagine they would have used the Emiri flight, the 747-8. So, I mean, A340 is cool. I wonder if it's the 600.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Thank you very much for the heads up.
King of the Skies on the taxi out now. The A380 now waiting to cross runway 1. It's headed out over to 23 left for the departure.
I'm excited for this.
We also had a KLM 737 touching down as well from Amsterdam Schiphol Airport.
Oh, we've got a message here from Simone. She's a nervous flyer and she's not very good on takeoff and tips and different noises. Well, if you have a look, Simone, on the Airliners Live page on YouTube, you'll find there is a video that we've all done with me explaining, fears of flying and why not to be afraid. It is quite safe. There are a lot of, different noises on takeoff. The gear going up, the engine noises, they spool up, but it does get quiet, it's smooth, it's quite safe. We're regularly trained, but have a watch of that video and it'll tell you all about it.
One thing that used to almost worry me a little bit when I was younger was the kind of sinking feeling you'd get when you just take off.
Do you mean when you just get airborne, or
you
just
take
after?
Off climbing.
I think it's climb thrust. I think is what
catches
most people out.
What does happen? You do get a bit of a sink when the flaps go up. Because you're reducing the lift, so you do feel a bit of a sink. You 1,000 feet, you lower the nose. The aircraft goes into the acceleration phase. You start accelerating, and you reduce the power slightly. But when you move the flaps, you can actually feel it go. With the Airbus, it's got a clever system that if you get too fast, it'll take the flaps up but leave the slats out, and it happens at 210 knots. But you can watch it on the speed. And suddenly you feel your back end go a little bit like that, and you think, oh, there they go. And you know they're moving, and you can feel it just before the gauge actually starts moving. But that's what that is. It's just the movement of the flaps.
Right. And Martin mentioning climb thrust as well. That's where the thrust will decrease, won't it?
That's when you'll hear an audible change in the aircraft.
Well, if you're slamming the thrust levers around your wheel, if you do it nice and gently, it should be, But 1,000 feet, you lower the nose. The Airbus will command a thing called lever climb, and you gently bring the thrust levers. I just wiggle them out the gate and slowly wiggle them back into the next bit, which is the climb gate, and they click in, and it just reduces the power.
Yorkshire Rose, thank you very much for very generously donating 5 Airliners Live memberships to the community. Gone to Jack, Brent, Ryan Nash, Carl Dobby, Holly Hughes, all receiving gifted memberships from Yorkshire Rose. Thank you very, very much for that. It's very kind of you, mate.
Let's get them king emotes in the chat, shall we? Got the Emirates A380 lining up on 23 left.
Here we go. Mega departure. Here we go.
Emirates Flight 22 heading back to Dubai on the largest passenger aircraft on the planet, the A380-800 series. Look at him go. Awesome stuff.
Absolutely mega. And this is the benefit of having the 2 cameras, guys. We can bring you the very best views from both sides of the airfield. I hope you enjoyed that A380 departure. If you did, let's get some 10 out of 10s in the chat. As crossing over the active runway is another Jet2 737 this time. And Carl saying, my friend works for North Air at Manchester refuelling. I didn't realise it's all underground and the fuelers pump it into the aircraft. Yeah, and that is I didn't realise that until there was an issue one day at Manchester with the fueling, and that I think there was something wrong with one of them systems somewhere that caused a bit of a problem. But yeah, do you know anything more about that? It's all just pipes, isn't it? Run under the.
Yeah. They just come up, plug into the aircraft, and you put a massive number in the window, and off they go. They get pumping, and it normally works really well. Until, like you said, until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't. And Tom and Anne, thank you very much for sending in a £20 super chat. It's very kind of you guys. Saying, surprised to find out that Captain Mark's bag wasn't full of sweets and chocolate. Well,
I have another bag full of sweets and chocolate.
Bag of sweets and chocolate. I've not ate the ones you gave me yesterday yet.
Well, you got another pack. Give them to the good lady.
I will
Keep her sweet.
There you go, gent. I'll put them there.
So I've got another bag full of sweets and chocolates for the crew. Butterfly buns, they tend to go down quite well. Chocolate brownies.
To be fair, I got a lot of comments from people saying that they've flown with you, like cabin crew and things on the video, like mentioning on the videos. All of them were just saying, like, you're a great guy, good laugh, and a lot of them mentioned the sweets as well.
Yeah, you got to keep people sweets, haven't you?
You've been getting messages from random people, haven't you, regarding them videos?
I know, a bit famous,
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, I got a message from a mate of mine. I talked to Fly about 20 years ago. He works for Jet2 out in the States, and the pilot explains one about the fear of flying that popped up on his YouTube stream. The best man's out in Dubai, and I got this stream of abuse. What the F are you doing on my YouTube? But yeah, there's guys all people who I haven't seen in years all messaging me saying, what are you doing on my YouTube? Well, watch it and see. So,
give it a watch.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm at that stage, when you've got a hot flask of tea, guys, and you're about to take the first sip, and you're scared what degree of burns you're going to get on your lip. Not quite ready to commit to that yet, I don't think.
Also got another Scandinavian on a taxi out. We've seen this as we were setting up today. Really odd looking plane, this. It's an A380. Is that IAE engines as well?
Yeah.
On a Star Alliance special. What a strange combo there. And it's got a mask design as well. It's a very unique looking plane. But I am excited to see this depart. What do you think of the chat, guys? Is it an unusual one? Do you like it? Is it a yay? Is it a nay? It's definitely an interesting one.
Matt's saying hot tea pales in comparison to a McDonald's apple pie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I've made that mistake a few times. Made me laugh earlier when you said about Tony P, the garage MC, for what Fezzer calls him. I was flying with an excellent cabin manager the other day, and I called her Sarah P, the garage MC. And one of the DHL manager guys came on, a bloke called Graham. We call him G-Dog because of his gangster rap history, and he doesn't gangster rap at all. When you see him, you're like, he's the most unlikely gangster rapper ever, but we've managed to convince an awful lot of people he's a gangster rapper from Sheffield. And so we had him on board, and Sarah P, the garage MC. It was a good little music mix.
Anyone who rhymes with that on the channel gets that title.
I did like Fezzer's impression of you the other day, Andy. I thought that was quite good.
Oh yeah.
On his
I know the one. Yeah.
I'm saying that now because he's not in the chat. I don't want to big him up or anything.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate, that. Just touched down on 23 right at EasyJet from Paris Charles de Gaulle. A320 with the classic fence winglets.
He's made the turn-off. I noticed one earlier, and a couple of Ryanairs haven't made this turn-off. They've gone a bit further. And when I was looking at the, just had a quick look at the weather. There's only 5 knots of wind or so, but it's across the runway. And sometimes it's favouring a bit of a tailwind component.
Yep.
So you'll be coming in a bit quicker. And if you use auto brake low, you're going to miss that turn.
Yeah.
And Beastie, thank you very much for the £2 super chat saying, hi guys, stunning shot of the A380 takeoff. Thank you very much, dude.
David's asking if I'm type rated for all Airbus planes. 319, 320 and 321. In 330s and 340s, 350s, 380s, you need a conversion course. But the idea of the Airbus is that flight decks are all pretty much identical, and it's not that big a conversion course. It's not like going from, I don't know, say
A 7.5?
Well, yeah, 7.5 to an Airbus is a big difference.
Yeah.
And not a good one either. Yeah, it's if you're going, say, from a 7.3 to an Airbus again, it's a big difference. The whole philosophy is quite different.
What about an A380 in as well? Is that?
Well, I mean, if you can fly this little Airbus, you know, technically you can fly the big one. You just need a conversion course.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know Emirates. A couple of lads have gone out to Emirates recently. And, you know, it's a fairly big course because they want to make sure it's done right. But I think with Airbus philosophy, you can do it. It doesn't have to be quite as big. They're just being thorough.
Yeah.
The controls are all the same. The switches are all generally the same. They're all pretty much in the same place. Obviously, the 380 and the 350 have got a lot more new toys and new gadgets to make your life a bit easier.
Oh yeah, it's no secret that the A350 is my favourite airliner flying, and you look at the flight deck, it is like a mission control in like a space station or something. You know, the amount of screens that are there and information the pilots get.
I keep hearing rumours that the smaller Airbuses are going to get that flight deck in the next few years. It was apparently supposed to be started before COVID, and then it was all put on hold, so I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm quite looking forward to it. It's the 320 flight deck now is a little bit dated compared to what's out there.
Yeah.
Dreamliner on the roll on the south side.
Heading off to Cancun in Mexico.
Apparently G-Dog is laughing his head off against the rapper from Sheffield.
I do like how many people who work at the airport watch these streams, and whenever I'm, maybe you're yet to have this, or maybe you have, whenever I'm flying, there'll always be like at least one person who recognises me. And it's always a bit awkward because you just don't know what to say. You're always just like, oh, hello, yeah. So you watch the streams. I was in Malaga last weekend flying back. I was in Malaga airport, and some random family went, oh, nice cap, you know, is that Airliners Live?
No
I was
way.
like, yeah. He's like, oh, are you Andy? I was like, yeah.
That's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't spend much time in the terminal, so I don't get people to clock me, really.
Oh, yeah, hiding away.
Tell you what I have noticed on the Dreamliner, when it starts its takeoff roll, about halfway, just behind the engines, you've got these panels called flaperons. And they start off in the upright position. As it accelerates, they drop down to act as flaps to give you more lift.
Yeah.
But if you watch it back and see it as it goes, you'll see these things move.
Yeah.
It's quite good on windy day when you see them coming in and they're doing that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll catch another one then, and we'll look for it.
Yeah.
Well, you see a lot of them on the A380, don't you? And they kind of
On the
like
end,
they
yeah.
really ripple on the end.
Yeah,
don't they?
I did read an article on them, how they're sequenced to reduce, wing loading and bending and all of that, and you see them like little fingers going.
Yeah.
It's really clever.
Pegasus A321 Neo just touched down with the mask scheme on the front as well. Looks really good. Over on the south side, though, we are keeping an eye on a Boeing 757, which is lined up behind the Ryanair. We'll be bringing you MatCam coverage of that as soon as that starts its lineup. But hope you're all enjoying the show. Barbara saying there's 1.2k in the chat. Thank you very, very much for letting us know. And I did see some messages in the chat of some people got an advert. Apologies, I've gone and checked that. There was a rogue setting on the live stream, which I've now updated. So you shouldn't receive any more of those. Apologies for that. That was a misclick when we've set the stream up today.
I was flying the other day and FlyPigs came in, and we were singing the FlyPigs.com name to the Moonpig.com. And the pair of us had the flaming song stuck in our head all day. Every so often one of us would be whistling, Moonpig.com. Oh, no.
Oh, there you go. Can't unhear that now.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's have a listen into this Jet2 757. This is going to sound great, guys. Enjoy this on your midweek show. Smash that like button for us. Mega 757 departure. That's fantastic. What a way to enjoy that as close up as it gets here from Manchester Airport on MatCam.
We really are lucky at Manchester to have them views, that lighting, and then similar views over here on the Runway Visitor Park as well. It's really the best of aviation here.
It certainly is.
I genuinely can't think of an airport with better spotting capabilities, especially here in the UK.
And Flo saying 500,000 subs tomorrow. Do we think tomorrow, guys? Do we think tomorrow? Let me look.
Today.
Let me look. And see.
Today. What are we on at the moment?
I'm just gonna pull up the analytics and have a proper look.
How are we going to celebrate this? Because that is
huge.
That is huge. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
We will shave Feather's head.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did that. Didn't look too bad on him.
There's the magic plane going off. 100 people disappeared into thin air.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, there you go. Dad jokes. Terry Edwards is asking, he's on the flight path. Sometimes when planes going over the different pitch change and the sound similar to a groan. Any ideas? It depends where you are, Terry. If you're over on the climb out, then it's around about 1,000 feet, then yeah, that would be the point where you'd reduce the thrust on the engines. That might be the call for that. Your departures, you normally level off at 5,000 feet, so if they're a bit late in swapping you over to Scottish control, you might end up levelling at 5,000 feet, and then the power will come right back, and that will make quite a dramatic change of sound.
Me and Sam were sat in the house Sunday night, and it was all very quiet, just chilling. And outside we just heard, and was like, what was that? Like, was that something military? Was that like that's definitely an aircraft of some sort? And it was a Wizz Air A320 Neo going to Liverpool, and they use Pratt & Whitney engines. So it was a Wookiee howl. It was like, 5,000 feet in the air, and it sounded like it was outside. It's crazy. On the clear nights, calm winds and things, you can really hear the aircraft, can't you?
Yeah. I was talking to an engineer about those Wookiees the other day, because they've had a few problems with them. And they're continuing to, and he was saying there's a bearing inside the engine, and I can't remember where he said it was, but it doesn't get quite the right amount of lubrication.
Yep.
And they're having problems with this bearing, which is causing the problems with the engine. He said, once they get it fixed, it'll be a great engine, but at the moment they are struggling with this one bearing that's causing the problems.
Yeah, I've heard it's very efficient. It's also the quietest when it's in the air of any of its competitors, like the lowest noise profile and things like that. So I believe it is a good engine, but yeah, it's strange how many issues it's been having.
Yeah. Actually, the Jet2 321 Neo has just pinged up.
Oh yeah, we've seen that a few times.
Yeah. Maybe they're taxing it, moving it.
Barbara, I did see your message. If you do want to send us an email, it's contact@airlinerslive.com is the email you need to use. Contact@airlinerslive.com.
Speaking of Jet2, on a taxi out was a 737 with Jet2 in a holiday scheme, heading off to sunny Fuerteventura. And it's got no winglets. Have they fallen off? It's a bit unusual to see a Jet2 73 without any winglets, but a couple of them still exist. I don't think what's the ones they have at Leeds? Is it the 300? I can't remember.
There's still a couple of 300s floating around, yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen it on Newcastle occasionally.
Ah. And there's another blurry prop picking up prop squad out of a Logan Air ATR 72 heading back to the Isle of Man shortly.
My good lady's a very big fan of that colour scheme, the shortbread airline. She does like it when we're sitting at the pub with the kids and watching it go over.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good scheme though, isn't it?
I love it, yeah.
Andy Richards is asking, when I was a young pilot in a nightclub, when you asked what you did for a job, would you say airline pilot or something more mundane? We used to have this competition to come up with the most ridiculous job and see if we could blag it. I used to tell people I ate fish for a living, and I was a penguin erector. When helicopters come in on the on the poles and blow the penguins over, it was my job to go and pick them all up. Just see if anyone was daft enough to blag, to buy it, and yeah, they normally did.
They are ridiculous.
So you say it with enough confidence.
Oh yeah.
Especially at a club where everyone's had a bit to drink.
Yeah.
Well, I thought my job was weird to explain, because I hate all the modern terms for like how would you even describe it? A YouTuber?
Yeah, I don't know how to describe what we do as a job. I usually just say we run a media company. That's just what I say. I just kind of keep it as that. I don't do anything cringe. I'm an influencer.
Eat pork pies for a living. There you are.
There you go. Yeah. Talk about food. Literally watch airplanes.
And Hayden, sorry, I think I may have missed your business class membership earlier on. One of our biggest busters in the community, Mr. Hayden, dropping a business class returning member. Thank you, dude.
Cheers, Hayden. Legend.
And EasyJet just touching down on 2-3 right. And if you are just tuning in, welcome into the midweek show, ladies and gents. Hope you're having a great week so far. On the EasyJet just coming in from Jersey.
Not too long of a flight. I feel like have they only just started flying that route again or something? Because I don't think I've seen it for a while, unless I'm getting mixed up with
I think
Newquay as well.
Newquay's a summer route. I think Jersey is too. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I remember during the last 2-3 years, Jersey and Cornwall and things like that were quite popular because international travel was a bit tricky. A lot of Brits like to get down south or places like that, and yeah, there was a good way to fly without any hassle of international restrictions and things like that. It still is, to be fair. You don't need a passport for Cornwall, for Newquay.
Should we all wave? Oh, you can't. It's going to get blocked by the EasyJet. Ah, well. There's Andy trying to get a wave there on the old mat cam. You can see us on mat cam. There we go, guys. And everyone at the RVP is wondering who the heck we're waving at. There we go.
Waving at the EasyJet, of course.
Can we see Matt Cam? Should we try and find Matt Cam, folks?
Yeah,
he
let's
is
do
over
it.
there somewhere. How's it, Matt? The weather is mint today, isn't it?
Oh, mate. Weather's out of this world, isn't it?
Bet you're just chilling and grilling over there. I bet it sounds to me like you got the deck chair, the Opti grill, you got everything going on.
I am the mankini.
Oh, maybe don't find Matt Cam then.
Where is he? He's around here. Oh, was that him? Left, maybe.
There he is.
There he is, giving us a wave.
Hey,
It looks quite busy over there. There's a fair few spotters enjoying the gorgeous lighting over there.
Planespotting Mike's over there as well, isn't he? Hello,
He
Mike.
is. Yeah, he's having a great time with the old Matty boy. And Hayden, thank you very much for the £2 super chat saying you deserve the support. Your Busters, great show. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, Hayden.
And Abigail, thank you very much for 7 months of crew seat membership, saying on leave this week, so actually able to watch the midweek stream. No manager looking over my shoulder. Great work, guys. Hey, nice one, Abigail. Here's another awesome prop departure. Logan there, Etihad, heading out to the Isle of Man. Just a short hop for this one. And Barbara, thank you very much for continuing your gifted membership with a 2nd month of business class, saying very delightful channel. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you, Barbara. Great to have you with us. Thanks for tuning in today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Alison, thank you very much for the 22 months, saying loving the stream. Keep on with the subs numbers. We will. Thank you very much. And for those asking, our current sub count is 494,161.
Wow.
Folks. So I think we will hit it before Sunday.
Yes.
But you never know. I mean, I don't think there's enough people with us today to smash it today, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Never say never. What can we do to celebrate it? Anyone in the chat have any ideas?
Wait, are you really going to ask the chat?
Yeah, listen, let's just see what they say.
Okay, well, whatever they sign you up for, just remember you put your own neck on the line.
Hey, I'm just looking for suggestions, okay? Let's just see.
Hey, Simon P, thanks for tuning in. Tony, thanks very much for the 18 months on Twitch. What a legend. Supporting us on both channels.
And if you watch it on any platform, get involved in the bingo. On YouTube, you can just do the exclamation bingo command in the chat. And what that does is generates you a little link that you can play bingo along with. And the bingo cards are like different planes you might see on the stream or different things we might say. And only like a handful of people have ever gotten full house on the bingo. But one line, left to right, top to bottom, diagonal, is considered a bingo. So try and get yourself a one-line bingo. See how you do.
I feel sorry for anyone who's got the weatherproofing the camera today.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was speaking to Sonny this morning because you used to be able to edit the bingo cards to change the terms, and I was going to remove that. I was also going to remove Beanie as well because we're kind of moving away from that.
Yeah.
So we'll do that ahead of Sunday's show.
But if you are just tuning in for the first time today, ladies and gents, I want to give you a massive welcome to the Airliners Live community. We think the friendliest aviation community in YouTube or on YouTube, but you can work that out for yourself. Just get involved in the chat. say hello. We'll give you a very warm welcome into the chat as well. And here at Airliners Live, the community is number one, and we're very proud of it. And we'd love to welcome new people in. So if you are new, don't be shy, say hello, and we'd love to give you a very warm welcome there on the channel.
Carl's asking would I like to fly the Jet2 321 one day. Well, if they put them in at Newcastle, I probably would. It means I could go home. I've flown my own 321s yet. Oh, we had one in last night, I think it was. Came up from Porto or Lisbon. EasyJet one came in. So we were talking about the Milan one the other day.
Yes, we were, yeah. It was. I'm actually really glad I caught that, because I've been trying to keep my eye open for it for a while. And then I came down to Southside just to grab some pictures. Didn't know it was in. And saw it coming on. I was like, oh, yeah, that's like the biggest coincidence, because I've been trying to catch it, and the one time you go when you're not, it came out. So yeah, it's nice to catch it.
It went past me flat like the other night. I looked. Okay. I knew they came out of Milan, but I didn't realise they did out of I think it was Lisbon. Yeah, it was easy for you.
And we got some welcomes in the chat. James Boss. The Brero's tuning in from Australia. Welcome. Jess saying, what happens here? We love planes here. So we put a few cameras up and we all enjoy it in the chat, if that's what you're asking. Welcome in. And Tim, tuning in from Pennsylvania, USA. Welcome, Tim. Atlas Winchester tuning in all the way from Australia as well. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. And the Classico tuning in from Omaha, Nebraska, USA. A very warm welcome to everyone tuning in all over the world, guys. Welcome to Manchester Airport in the UK. My name's Martin. I'm one of the founders of the channel. We got Captain Mark here, who's a big friend of the channel, an Airbus pilot as well. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, please get them in the chat, and Mark will get those answered for you. Up on the roof, we have the other channel owner, Mr. Andy Brown-Bill, who's operating the main camera today. And as we've mentioned before, over on the south side, on our south camera, number 2 camera, is Mr. Matt Smith.
Got an Aer Lingus ATR 72 touching down on 23 right here. Another prop here arriving. A little bit of a gust today, isn't there?
Just a little bit.
See the aircraft floating on the landing.
Yeah. I said there is a little bit of a tailwind component there that doesn't make life easy. Fun Time Phil's asking if I'm doing his flight to Funchal on June the 16th. Not at the moment, I'm not. I don't go there. Luckily.
Can be quite nefarious, can't it?
Can be an interesting place, yeah. I've been in years ago on the 75.
Michael Holland, 10 months, business class, premium economy membership. Thank you, Michael. Welcome back. Another great stream. Cheers, dude. And Lords Who Travel, thank you very much for the £5 Ko-fi donation, saying, I hope this goes some way to buy Captain Mark a coffee from the cafe. Don't worry about that.
Thank you very much.
We'll be making full use of the cafe, I expect, very shortly. And Sarah B, thank you very much for your Ko-fi donation as well, saying, a great show stops me doing the housework. Well, that sounds like a bonus to me there, Sarah. Thank you very much for your Ko-fi donation as well.
Oh, there's loads of questions. Neil's asking, how do you see the yellow guideline when taxiing? You're actually looking out ahead of you, and you can see it ahead of you. What's quite strange is when you line up on the runway in low visibility, if you can see 3 runway lights, then you know you're all right to go, because they're at set spaces. So you need to be able to see a certain distance of front. Obviously, you get the RVRs from the tower, but if I can see 3 runway lights, I know I've got enough visibility to go. But you don't see what's right down below you here. You see what's ahead of you.
Yeah. I suppose it's like a car, right? You're looking over your bonnet, and eventually you kind of stop noticing the bonnet. right? Eventually, you know,
Yeah.
you're not really thinking
you don't
about
really
it.
see. You can't see the nose, and you can't see because you're so high. You're looking down at an angle, so you miss a lot of what's below you.
Yeah.
So you do have to be a little bit careful when you are taxiing, especially when you're pulling on a stand. You make sure there's nothing there. I've no idea, Jenny, why they don't go to Inverness anymore. Absolutely no idea. Bill, yes, I have. It's very difficult to get into ATC these days. And Erica, no, the roster tells you where you go, and if you don't want to go there, it's tough luck. You might be able to swap it with someone, but if it's one of those places where no one wants to go, you're doing it.
Was that in terms of a career ATC, was it? Or
Yeah, I mean, I did think about it. As a friend of mine used to be cabin crew from Newcastle. He's done it. He's a really, really good lad called Tom, and he'll be really good at it. There's a girl who was at my last airline. She's been ATC for a while now. They love it, you know, but I'll stick with what I'm doing at the moment.
And Sasha, thank you very much for the very generous donation to the channel, saying good morning, Martin, Andy and Matt. Hope you're all doing well today. Treat yourselves to a drink or something to eat. That's very kind of you. Thank you very, very much for that.
Thank you very much.
The donation to the channel.
lots of support today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers everyone. It really does go towards improving the channel and making things better for you guys. Thank you very much for supporting us today.
Jess is asking why they call the steering wheel a yoke. Well, on the Airbus, we haven't got a yoke. We haven't got a steering wheel. We've got a side stick. We've got this little stick next to us that we wiggle with. And we argue with a load of French computers. If you look back at, say, the Boeing B-17 or B-29s, they had like half a steering wheel. It was a great, big, huge control column. I think the term yoke comes from shipping terms. A lot of aviation is from nautical. You have nautical miles. You measure your speed in knots, which is what ships do. It's when aviation started, the only thing they had to rely, to use as a basis or base was shipping and nautical. You used to use astronavigation, so a lot of the terms come from that.
Do you know why they use knots? Why they use nautical miles as well?
Again, it's throwback from the shipping days. From years ago. When the Wright brothers did their first flight and aviation progressed from there, they went by knots. So you just take miles per hour times it by 1.15.
Yeah.
And Mark Bradbury asking how easy it's switching between left and right joysticks.
It depends on how long you've been in the first officer's seat. So you're flying with your right hand as first officer, and your thrust levers with your left.
Because this sounds stupid, but I really struggle if I'm flying in the sim. I wouldn't be able to have the joystick on the other side. Right. Not at all.
When you learn to fly, you've got the control column in your left hand, and you've got your power levers or whatever you've got on your right hand. When you become a first officer, you're in the right hand seat, so you're flying with your right hand and power levers with your left hand. When you swap, if you've been a first officer a long time, it's difficult. It's really difficult.
It's a different perspective as well, isn't it?
It is, because you're used to looking at the windows are angled like that. If you look at the 350, the actual dashboard is quite flat. Same with the 380. With the the smaller Airbuses, the older ones, you're seeing an angle that looks like that. And when you swap seats, you're now looking at that. So the whole picture's wrong. You're used to doing that, and now you're doing that. And I know when I swapped seats, it took me a long time to get comfortable.
Wow.
With it. It wasn't. It didn't feel natural at all. And you're flying an Airbus, which doesn't feel natural anyway. It's just like if you're flying at the proper airliner, like a 757, which we can hear rolling, roaring away in the background. Yeah, it's a more natural feel. You can actually feel the aircraft. In a windy day, you take the automatics out on a Boeing early, get a feel of the wind. On the Airbus, you're just arguing with computers, so if it's a really windy day, I'll leave the autopilot until the last minute.
Yeah, just let them do the work.
Yeah.
Here we go. Talking of computers and yokes. Boeing Dreamliner 787 ready to depart on the south side. Enjoy this, guys. Now Dreamliner departing there on the south runway, heading out to Montego Bay. Nice flight for that one. 8 years old, the Dreamliner, a flight of 4,614 miles, so a long flight for India Foxtrot there.
Yeah, and I've also seen they've restarted the Melbourne route as well. And we were doing a video with Heritage Concorde a while ago, and I think the first time we'd ever seen it, it pinged up at Manchester, and everyone was like, oh, it's got to be a radar glitch. That TUI Dreamliner all the way to Australia. But it turns out they do routes to Melbourne, Florida. There's also a Melbourne in the UK as well. It's actually not that far from here. It's near East Midlands Airport.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's quite a popular name.
I think the Melbourne, Florida one is it's more for the cruises. It's nearer for the cruises. It's the same drive to Orlando, whatever it is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I heard it was a cruise kind of dropping people off there to get on cruise ships and stuff.
Flying Architect's saying, don't Russia use kilometres and metres? Yes, they do. When we used to go to Kazakhstan in the 75, it was a nightmare because you'd have to have a chart out with a conversion table in.
Oh, right.
So you're cleared to apply flight level 11,100 metres.
Yeah. That would be a nightmare.
Oh, it is. It's a real transition. Also, your winds are in metres per second, so you've got to double it. And, the thing is, with the 7.5, it didn't. You had to do it manually. The one of the good things that I did like about the 737-700 is you have a meters button, you press it, and it shows your current height with the meters above it. Now, it wasn't that we went over there, but it's 3.28 meters, feet to a meter. So, when you do a descent, you take your height and you times it by 3. So if you're at 33,000 feet, times by 3, 99. You need 99 miles plus 10 to slow down.
Yeah.
And it's all the way down. You're doing this 3 times table, 30,000 feet, 3 times 30, 90 miles plus 10 to slow down. And then you press that button, you don't have to do the sums because it's written above it because it takes you times by 3.
Oh, there you
so
go.
It was a good cheat for me. The Airbus has got it, but it displays what you've selected on the one of the centre screens, and it's no good to man or beast.
Like exaggerated version of when you go driving in Europe and they use kilometres an hour, don't they? And it's all over confused. Like, speed limit on this road 120 mile an hour. It's like, oh, it's 120 kilometres an hour.
Yeah. And can we give a very warm welcome to Stephen Webber, who says, what a brilliant channel. I've been on YouTube for years, but I've only just stumbled across your channel today. We're PG, so I won't read that bit out. But he says, so glad I have found you. Please keep up the good work. Hey, Stephen, thank you very much, mate. And it's great to have you with us in the community, Stephen. My name's Martin. This is Captain Mark, who's a special guest with us today. He's an Airbus pilot based here at Manchester Airport. That's Andy up there on the camera. And over on the south side, we have another camera operated by one of our awesome moderators, Mr. Matt Smith. Get yourself comfortable, mate, and welcome to the community, and I'm sure the community will give you a very warm welcome as well as we wait for this British Airways A321 to head back to London Heathrow.
Yeah, stick around. This is my favourite of the liveries in British Airways. I think this scheme looks gorgeous on the Neo, especially the A321 Neo, and it's something we occasionally see here at Manchester. Running the shuttle service from Manchester Airport to London Heathrow. What a great catch to see in the sun as well. We have been spoilt today, folks.
Great to have you with us in the community, Stephen. I'm glad you've found the channel as well. We've been going for about 5 years. We were very fortunate enough just over a year ago, about a year and a half ago, to go full-time on the channel, myself and Andy. And we've been bringing you live feeds twice a week from Manchester Airport. We also do a stream every week from Vancouver, Canada, and a flight sim show as well every week. So plenty of aviation content and lots of 4K pre-recorded content as well. So there's plenty of stuff here for you, mate, if you do enjoy your aviation. And cute little bizjet on the way in.
Yeah, little Cessna Citation coming in. She's coming in from Munich in Germany.
Kevin's asked why did the 321 Neos not have a second door just in front of the wing, so like a 75 does. I don't know. I think it's just because it's a stretched version of the 320 and they don't seem to think they need it. The doors they've got meet the requirements of getting everyone off in 90 seconds in an emergency, so I suppose that's good enough.
It's really quick, 90 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
The vast amount of people.
They used to bribe them, fill it up with people and say the first 50 off, get $10 each. But then people started getting hurt, so they had to stop doing it.
And here we go on the south side, back over to Matt Cameras. We get a awesome wave from the flight deck there from the British Airways crew. And this aircraft next to depart. Enjoy this, guys. Back to Heathrow, shuttle A321 here. Guys, we may have to cut away if this Neo doesn't shift soon.
Oh, what is this?
A220 Air France just touched down, one of our favourite aircraft on the channel.
Wow, what a catch. Not seen this for a while. Get them Wookiee emotes in the chat.
And some bloke, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat saying, I'm on the BA flight tonight, first time flying with my DVT. Thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat.
Yo.
I do not know what DVT is.
I don't know either.
Oh, I'm glad Chris is back anyway. I've missed him.
Yeah, great lad.
Hello, mate.
Would be absolutely awesome if we managed to catch this Air France A220 departing as well. Couldn't imagine a turnaround time would be too long for them. I'd imagine about an hour or so, maybe less. Only a small plane in it.
There it is, A220. Oh, the deep frame thrombosis, yeah. I've heard about that. Isn't there like, you have to do exercises on the planes and everything to try and stop that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea because it's not a healthy...
the socks and that as well.
Yeah. The problem that we mostly have is our feet get freezing cold. There is an option on the Airbus to have a foot heater. But it costs money, so most airlines don't have it. But yeah, you end up wearing thick socks. It's a good idea to get up and have a walk around once in a while.
Yeah, I think that's healthy on a plane anyway, isn't it? Especially if you're on a long flight of a few hours.
Tell me this is not the best looking short haul aircraft on the planet, guys. Like, come on. That is 10 out of 10.
Very pretty.
I like the big windows on it as well. You look at the passenger windows, they're bigger than normal ones.
Yeah, I just love everything about that plane.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
It's very nice. And
I'm going to say now, guys, when I sort myself out and get flying, right, that's the first thing I'm going on.
Oh, yeah.
A220.
I thought you'd come with me at the Isle of Man.
No, I ain't getting on a plane with you, son. I've seen you in the
cheated.
That's not me. I was going to say, there's no Fezzer in the flight deck, don't worry.
That is an awesome
another
piece
option we suggested was the BA shuttle, because that's a really nice
Mate, when
flight
BA
as well.
put A220s on, I'll do it.
That would be good, though, to be fair. That would be good. Maybe I could see them getting them in the future for the shuttles, yeah. Replace like the A319s and stuff.
Or even replacing that Cambridge flight they do with one.
Oh, the Sunair,
Dornier that we use. Abigail Reynolds, thank you very much for the $1.99 super chat. Saying building G Sun B, yay or nay on adding the bandit mask. Yay for me. Definitely a yay for me.
Please.
It's a Bombardier. Well, it was until Airbus bought it.
Yeah, it's an Airbus now.
It's an Airbus now. They've taken it. Can I come with you, Mark? Jen says.
Of course you can, Jen. Anywhere you like, mate.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Lanzarote or Corfu.
But thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in. I feel like the vibes on today's show are super high. I'm loving today's show. Chilling, the sun's out, loads of awesome aviation action, dual camera action as well. Loads of people in the chat. Hope you're all enjoying the midweek show. Stand by, guys.
Yeah, we're loving it. Ryanair 737. This is an 8200 variant of the Max. I think the only difference is the config of the doors and the seating compared to the usual Max 8, which it's based on. It's got the split scimitar winglets, Leap 1 Bravo engines. They look a little bit more chunky as well, the Maxes.
There's a lad I fly with sometimes. He used to work for Airbus. He was saying that part of the reason Airbus bought the A380 program because Bombardier were struggling promoting it, selling it, and getting the spares. Whereas Airbus can supply as many parts. You know, they were struggling getting the raw materials as well. He said Airbus can just supply it, so it worked out well for them all.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Carl Denson, thank you very much, mate, for sending in a Ko-fi donation, saying get yourselves and Captain Mark a coffee. Thanks for everything you do. Friendliest channel on YouTube, and Mark's information is great. Yeah, I think we'll treat Mark to a little bit of lunch in the old cafe.
Yeah, whatever you want, Mark.
Oh, everything on the menu, extra onions.
Yeah, there we go. And we are keeping an eye on MatCam, folks, because there is an Aer Lingus A330 on the taxi out, which is going to sound absolutely awesome, coming up very, very soon, so stick around for that. And if you are enjoying the show today, help the channel out completely for free by clicking that like button for us, guys. We'd really appreciate it.
So you're a fan of onions then, Mark?
Oh, no, it's a few mates of mine, when they have a few beers, it's everything on the menu, extra onions. You know? Actually, talking to the FOs I fly, there's a really, really good lad I fly with called Fraser Burns. His dad, Roger, is a big fan of the channel. He'll be watching today. But I told you guys about an interesting day I had early this year, and Fraser with the FO on it. I was really pleased he was the FO on that flight because he's really good, and it was a nightmare of a day. And yeah, he was absolutely spot on. He's going to be a fantastic captain, and hopefully soon.
Nice.
And some bloke, thank you very much for the $4.99 saying, if you go on the BA shuttle, I'll take you in the first class lounge. Legend, thank you, mate.
Yes, I think you'd enjoy it. I mean, it's a very short flight, it's like half an hour.
Yeah.
Very comfy, lovely views. Pretty cheap as well. I love flying on the shuttle, especially if it's a Neo. Oof.
And here we go. This one's going up in the air very shortly. Uniform Papa on the reg of this EasyJet on the taxi out. That's heading out to the Isle of Man, just a short hop for that one. The Ryanair passing behind in shot is off to Tenerife. And following that is our heavy departure on the south side to Orlando. Aer Lingus UK A330-300. Going to be a mega departure, this, guys.
Oh, this is going to be good.
So stick around with Airliners Live. Welcome to the midweek show. Dual location cameras at the airport, bringing you two completely unique angles of the aircraft, as you can see there, bringing you the south side departures as close as it gets, and the north side arrivals as well, guys. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thanks very much for tuning into Airliners Live today. And Rodney, tuning in from West Virginia, saying a question for Captain Mark, and good morning to you as well, mate. Saying, have you ever had to abort a landing or a takeoff?
Yes, not for a long time though. We had the last aborted takeoff I did was years ago in Newcastle, where we had the engines didn't spool up together. What you do is you set the thrust levers. On a Boeing you'll set them to 40%, and on a Airbus you'll set them to 50. And sometimes you get an engine that lags, and this time it just didn't come up, so we had to abort that. Last go around I did. Oh dear me.
Don't do go arounds very often, do you?
No.
Too much of a pro for Goro.
Yeah, thank God for that. I don't want to be doing them. The last one I can remember was on the second track. Oh no, it was Barcelona. I was still a first officer years ago out in Newcastle, and we were coming in behind a Qatar 350, and we were 5 miles behind, which is your minimum spacing. And the wind was doing weird things like it does at Barcelona sometimes, and it was churning up at the bottom of the runway, and we had the vortices coming off the 350, and it landed and taxied off. We'd come in. Luckily, the captain was flying. The whole aircraft went all over the shop. It was flying. It was going up as well as being trapped all over. So we went around, and we had something like 4 or 5 frequency changes all the way around. Every single one went, "Why did you go around? Why did you go around?" Well, yeah. And we came in again, and we had these vortices again coming in, but not as bad. There was something happening with the wind at the end of the runway, but I can't remember how long ago that was.
I saw a video actually the other day on YouTube, a cockpit view video of an aircraft that hit vortices on approach, and I was surprised just how much the wind got throughout. It just dipped. It was crazy.
It could be quite nasty. One of the sim trainers had it. He used to fly for BA. He was on the 73 years ago. And they were going into Geneva or Munich or somewhere like that, and they were following something big in, and the aircraft went to about 90 degrees. And we practiced in the simulator this thing called upset recovery. If it happens at height or it happens down low, we practice how to get out of this, because what the airline does is it looks at what the current thing that's causing crashes are, and it's not engine failure at takeoff. What the biggest killer at the moment is loss of flight, loss of control in flight. You've got Air France 447, you've got the Air Asia one, the Rostov Al Don Fly Dubai one, where I had a friend on board that one from the last airline, and that's what we're now looking at in great depth. And every single 6 months we're in there, and they'll put you in some funny procedure. And certain airlines have their own way of doing it, and it works quite well.
Beluga over the top, Andy.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah,
may see that. It's just usual position. It's pretty much directly behind us now.
Right. So it's heading over a bit of an angle. Yeah, I see it. Can I get her on the video? That's the question.
Yeah, centre frame, exactly centre frame now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Bottom frame. There we go, ladies and gents. Look at that, Beluga XL. We can see the A330 lining up. We'll switch over to it in a second, but look at that.
That's awesome.
Thanks for the heads up, chat. Great job, guys.
What a catch in the sun as well. Super transporter with Airbus. Coming out of Airbus Broughton, heading to, I think, Munich. Bremen, sorry.
That looks so hard zooming in and keeping that still. Yeah. That's definitely not Fed's cam, is it?
So they don't go to Munich, do they? They go to Bremen or Hamburg.
That one's going to Bremen.
That'll be tickets on A350 wings to get the hydraulics fitted.
Let's get some 10 out of 10s in the chat for you guys, giving us the heads up on that one. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, folks.
We have got quite a nice clear sky over the head, so if anyone does see anything on radar interesting that you'd like us to catch, let us know with a little bit of warning, and we'll keep an eye open for it, try and get you a nice shot. Ideally, maybe some nice quad jets going over the top, guys, if you see anything interesting. Flying right over us here.
Sort of the northwest of us is sort of the, or the northeast, should I say, is like the most clearest patch.
So now goes that A330. A couple of Ryanairs now on the taxi out for departure. The first of which heading out to Faro, and the second just a short hop over to Dublin.
And lined up on the runway, we have a Global 6000. Vista jet.
Beautiful. There it is. Matcam picking that up. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Sonny, Matcam is as close as you can get to the aviation here at Manchester Airport. I hope you're all enjoying it, guys.
Nuts in it.
And again, thanks for all of your support, not just on today's show, but all of our VIPs and on all of our other shows, because it allows us to improve our equipment and bring you shows like this, and we really enjoy doing it. So thank you very much, everyone.
The question is for me and Pete about smart links and the A380 you've been going on. And I don't know, I've never been on it, but I know, I'm fairly sure that the airline I worked for used them a few years ago, and the reports were good. Everyone said they were really good and the crew were really friendly and professional, so I just don't know, mate. I'm sorry, I can't be of more use.
This should sound good, this biz jet, I think. Just holding on the runway for departure, just waiting for maybe a touch of separation from that 330 potentially, but I think we've had long enough so it'll be going very, very soon.
And on the base leg of the approach now, Fearless Lady, the Virgin Atlantic A350 1000 coming in from Orlando. Guys, stick around for that.
Yeah, I do love the A350 1K. Beautiful aircraft. Coming in very shortly.
Yeah, a couple of minutes away. I'll keep my eyes to the skies for her. In fact, I think I can just look see, but it's going to be a challenge picking her out of the sky.
You got it.
Definitely my favourite one out at the moment, apart from the 7.5.
Oh yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, I can see her.
Some good go-arounds when you were at Heathrow on the 350 though, weren't they?
That British Airways 350 struggled a lot. I think it was a 1000 series as well.
Yeah.
I believe that ended up diverting to Stansted on that day. I think it did 2 go-around, maybe 3 before diverting. Didn't have a good time.
And Audrey, thank you very much for sending in a Kofi donation. It's a great show, guys. Love learning from Captain Mark.
Greg's asking, do Airbus captains feel they do less with the plane than the pilot of the 737? And he's wondering because he compares it to in the sim and approach the system. Yeah, the Airbus looks after a lot more. With the 7.3, you're having to take, turn bleeds off, on, turn backs on and off, turn generators on and off. Airbus does it all automatically. Put the anti-ice on, you could put the igniters on, and then the anti-ice on the 7.3 Airbus is just push button. 7.5's like that as well, it looks after a lot more. It's definitely a nicer working environment for the work we do. Flying around Europe, you've got your table. It's a bigger flight deck, it feels more open, it's quieter than the 7.3, it's just generally nicer. The downside is it doesn't fly as well as something like a 7.5 does. It's not as stable. It's when you're actually flying it, and you have a disconnect because you've got this side stick and you're wiggling it around, and sometimes you're putting input in, you sit there, well, go and do something. It's like that meme with the guy with the stick, like, come on, do something, you're like, come on. Whereas with a Boeing, you turn the control column and it will move.
Yeah, it is one of them, and it is always Boeing v Airbus, but
yeah.
I mean, Airbus are they seem like they're just dominating at the moment with everything that's going on. I mean, the A350's like outstanding. Obviously
Neos.
The A320 Neos, the 21 Neos, a huge order from Jet2. The 220s coming in clutch, like it's
The
just
330 Neos as well.
Yeah, the 330 Neos is an absolute beautiful aircraft. But talking of beautiful looking Airbuses, guys, here it is, Virgin Atlantic A350 1K next to land.
It's not as efficient as a 30 Neo.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah.
And Doros saying we missed a wave. Oh well, we're glad it's all saved on the old YouTube then for us. And Robert's been out and took a picture of the Beluga and the 350. Make sure you get that in the VIP lounge, Robert.
Awesome.
Cheers, Greg.
There we go. Enjoy this arrival, guys. Not far away now. Keep our fingers crossed as well that it gets off in front of us. It sometimes does. It's in from Orlando. 7.5 hour flight for the 1-year-old A350 1000.
Hear the brake fans on the Airbus over there squealing away.
Yeah.
They are loud, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, it's not much fun when you're doing a walk round.
Lovely touchdown.
Gorgeous aircraft. Fearless lady. The A350 1000 with Virgin Atlantic coming in from Orlando. We see this on pretty much every show these days.
Yeah, absolute stunner. So glad to see these back at Manchester regularly.
Yeah, there's been definitely a downturn in Virgin at Manchester recently, but the introduction of this stunner is definitely a big positive. An aircraft I'd personally love to fly. Virgin really know how to do a good cabin and good service.
And Twinkle in the chat saying, "Hey fellas, I'm sat with my son on the mound just to your left. I hope you're having a great time in the sun. We'll give you a well there we
Hey.
go. Hello." Legends.
3 ATRs in a row coming next, saying the Flying Architect. Yo, here we go.
Barbara, you're in the chat, Barbara. There's 3 ATRs now. We have all the props at Manchester. Unfortunately, we don't have the Dash 8s anymore. That's a big shame, but every now and again we get a nice metro liner as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's off to Geneva now. He's just got his slot come up at EasyJet 320. I'm just looking at.
Got you. Aegean on the south side as well. Quite a nice aircraft, but we'll stick with the A350 1000. Stuart, good morning to you. Welcome in.
That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you were to do long haul, would you pick 350?
I would. Yeah, definitely.
Like that's a good bit of kit, that,
It is,
isn't it?
Look at that. And Rolls Royce engines on it as well.
Them sweeping winglets as well. Look very nice.
And Paul saying the A350 powered by the best engines in the world. I am biased. I spent 8 years on the XWB.
Yeah.
Paul, I bet
Wow.
that was awesome, mate.
They are, and they sound great. There's loads of power in them.
I used to love
the
the.
south side. The Aegeans rolling. Enjoy this, guys. What was that?
I used to love the RB211s on the 7.5.
Yeah. That was screamers.
Logan Air ATR 72 just touched down here on 23 right. She's in from Newquay in Cornwall. Also home to Spaceport Cornwall, which is the only licensed UK space station. Look at that KLM in the sun. The blue looking so nice.
We'll switch over to the Iberia because it's next to depart. That's off to Madrid.
Your A220's just pinged up.
How's it?
Wow, that was quick.
Singapore 350's pinging as well.
People do say the A220 is like a mini A350.
And stick with the channel, guys, because pinging up on the ground, we also have the Singapore A350 currently taxiing out. So another awesome departure coming up very soon.
Oh, Sarek saying her friend Matthew's on the Iberia.
Oh, nice.
Just gone. Bye.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's at Peacocks. That's what we wanted from the multicam. All the action, non-stop. Keep the shows nice and exciting.
Yeah, this is great. Really enjoying it.
And Chris Watts tuning in, say good morning, first time visitor to your site, and I'm enjoying. Thank you, dude. Welcome in, Chris. Let's get some waves in the chat for Chris, guys, a new viewer to the channel.
Sandra's just got a bingo line because I said pinging. Yay.
Hey.
KLM 73 lining up now on the south side. Over on back cam.
It's a 900.
One girl. A longish.
It's 900.
Yeah, usually seen the 737-800s. The 900 is just a slightly longer variant of the aircraft. Any other real benefits other than capacity?
No, I mean, I only flew the 700, and I was told the 700 was the best handling out of the NG ones, so
Yeah.
I've dread to think what that handle's like. I thought the 700 was awful, but anyway, there you go.
Did you go straight from the 7.5 to the 7.3?
Yeah, it was.
Probably had something to do with it.
That was a horrible transition. That was.
But in my opinion, probably the best looking ATR we have here at Manchester, the Arena. ATR in from Guernsey.
Yeah, very pretty aircraft. That one's got a nose. What is that?
Yeah, it's something to do with the heads-up display, isn't it, Mark?
I've got a clue. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
Yeah, they have them on the newer ATRs.
Oh, okay. A good friend of mine, her husband flies those for Eastern, so I'll have a word with her and see if he can tell me what it is. Get some info.
Yeah, ATR's Clear Vision, it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, it's to do with the heads-up display.
All right. Every day's a school day.
I've never seen that though. It's strange. Maybe I have.
You have seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite common on them.
Wow. We're looking out for that now.
A lot on the E2, when you come into land, the primary flight display, PFD, you've got your blue for your sky and you've got your brown on the bottom for the ground. But as you get nearer the runway, it switches into the runway. I'm not sure if it's a camera. I can't see it that well, but it looks like you can actually see the runway coming up towards you.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought that's quite a nice touch, especially if you're doing an auto landing, next to zero visibility. Then you'd be able to see where you actually are on the runway, if it's computer generated, that is. But it's quite a nice touch. I saw it on a video on YouTube, and that's good.
That does sound good, yeah. I think some of the sort of modern, is it the Garmin displays and stuff that you'd see in like the flight sims and stuff will have them as well.
Yeah.
And it makes you think you could just fly the aircraft off that almost, pretty much.
Yeah, so Clear Vision is apparently to improve situational awareness in the landing phase of flight. And it's mainly, like you say, Mark, for poor weather, fog and heavy rain and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, I've never seen any of the pilots wearing anything. I think they do have to wear something to use it.
Okay.
Whoa, really?
But I think I'm sure it was something to do with the heads-up display as well. But
I know years ago our lot put head HUDs on the 737s, and you had to go in the sim every 3 months and do some training for it. And they realised that they were using it maybe once a year. And you're having to put people in the sim quite regularly, and it's costing a fortune. So they just got rid of them in the end.
The Garmin G1000, that's it, flying architect,
Yeah, they've got those on the guys who come through the pilot training. They've got those on these diamond twin style things they use.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kit they're using on that, a lot more advanced than what you've got in that Airbus that's about to take off now. It's, the kit we're using on that, a lot of it was designed in the 80s. So it's really outdated. You can buy the processors for the FMGCs on eBay. Back in the 80s they were state of the art, and they are reliable. But it's not as high tech as that 350 that's taxing out now.
You need a camera like that on the Concorde. Hey, that would have solved the nose issue, wouldn't it? Yeah. Drooping nose.
A friend of mine was a senior flight engineer on Concorde for 7.5 years. He was telling us that when they do the sim, that even flight engineers got to have a play. The stuck nose was one that they used to do quite regularly.
EasyJet lined up on the south side, but taxiing out, folks. Stick with the channel because we've got the Singapore A380 on the way out.
And if you are enjoying the stream today, make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Really helps us out a lot. Nice free way to support the live aviation you're seeing here today. We're Airliners Live. We stream every Wednesday and Sunday from Manchester Airport. We also have a show on Thursday. So tomorrow from 7 p.m. we'll be live from Vancouver, Canada. And every Monday evening from 6 p.m. we do a flight sim show. All the Manchester shows are broadcast in 4K definition.
Do you want to knock on the door? Yeah? And the Ryanair 737 just arriving in from Bordeaux. And on the south side there is a Jet2 A321 out to the roads. But we are keeping a close eye on the A350, guys. It's going to be our aircraft of choice for the next departure, that's for sure.
Super excited for this.
The A321 lining up first. That's heading out to Rhodes.
Now your Air France has got a slot. 12:07. So it's given a 20-minute taxi, so it should be going in the next 5 minutes or so.
Nice.
Awesome.
Hyped to see it. Mate, hopefully we get a head-on south side.
That'd be good.
But Matt Cam just sticking with the beautiful A350 head-on as it taxis out. We need to be, I just thought, we note to self, Brownie, note to me and you, Matt needs an SD card.
Yeah. Because these views are great, and it'd be great to get some footage.
Yeah, there is a Turkish A330 on the way out as well, guys. Whoa. So stick with it. Andrew saying mega shot, it is, mate. Absolutely banging shot, that one.
Really is.
Aerobrief FS and an active CTOP. I think you need an airline regular email address to use the CTOP one. I think Aerobrief FS might be.
Oh,
mate, me and Mark were just muted while we were setting that app up. And when that 350 went then, both looked at each other. That was gnarly, that, wasn't it?
amazing.
That noise, guys. More of that.
Yeah.
Just all day.
That was bananas.
Please.
Yeah.
Guys, 10 out of 10's in the chat for that. Gotta be.
Yep. Easy 10 out of 10. Great stuff.
Yeah, that was great. That sounded great even from here.
Yeah.
I love the buzzsaw noise you get on the Rolls-Royce engines where the tips of the blade is going transonic and it gives you that buzzsaw noise.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just mint, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It seems to be that particular tone is going from jet engine sounds, isn't it? I think that is like the real emitter of sound around an airfield.
Yeah.
Modern ones like the Neos and stuff don't really have that. They're more like a modern kind of airy sound, aren't they?
Sounds like a big hairdryer, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Even the Pratt & Whitneys, although we love the spool-up sound and the classic Talon X howl that they do, I think, that lovely buzzsaw sound, it was pretty popular back in the day, obviously, with the 757s as well. They're pretty loud for it. And even like the 56s on the A320s and things, they make it pretty loud as well.
Yeah. That was a good video you did on the Talon X combustion chamber and the Wookiee sound of those engines.
Oh, yeah. yeah. I've been making the occasional little short video, guys, and if you look at our YouTube channel, we've got a lot of shorts on there. And some of them do quite well. Martin did one the other day, actually, of a Kuwait 330-200 landing on 05s. And that did pretty good, didn't it? It's about a million views already.
It's got nearly a million views, which I'm pretty hyped about because I'm sure a lot of you guys know. I do a bit of editing around the channel, but a lot of my time is kind of the behind-the-scenes things and the live stream technical stuff and also the boring stuff as well. So
mostly boring stuff.
every now and again, I do get to enjoy editing a few bits, and I edit all of the simulate stuff as well. All the simulate videos, so I get around to it, but it's very rare that I do a short. Usually Andy's the man behind the shorts. So I'll give it a go, and pretty hyped about that one.
I like just answering questions that are quite simple as well, that some people might not know the answer to, like how do airliners stop as well? You know, you got like a few different systems that help the aircraft stop on the runway and stuff like that. But obviously another video that we got in the works yesterday, we actually filmed and edited Mark's video, which was on what's in his flight bag, which is a great video. Quite a lot of things I didn't expect in there. I mean, the Christmas tree was a bit... the whole Christmas tree...
Carry that all year round as well.
Yeah, I love me Christmas, It's just trying to get Martin out so I can put the rest of me stuff in. So it's a difficult one, you know.
But we also...
put my rent up last week as well.
We also filmed another video with the Stockport Radio Society.
Oh, those guys, man. They were a good laugh.
Yeah, that was in the morning.
Big shout out to Nigel and Tony for coming over.
Yes, if anyone's ever met them before, they're usually at the TAS memorabilia fairs. They have a stand there, usually quite fancy. They usually have like satellites there, antennas, and they are a society that's been going since 1920.
Yeah, he said, oh, we had a brief break through World War II, and that's about it.
Yeah, and they're based in Stockport, and they are anything radio related, you know, satellites, audio, aviation, communications.
Maritime,
yeah, it's awesome. And they came down, and they're helping us fit a new radio receiver into our office.
Yep, so we can hear the ATC, and we had just a little Uniden in the office, which wasn't doing very good. And they brought their kit down, and the improvement is unreal. They've left the kit with us to try for a few weeks, and we're in Barton, and we can hear Manchester ground from our office, which is unbelievable. So, we're hyped, really hyped.
One of the things I would love to do, they were mentioning, was with these kind of receivers that you can get, you can also pick up the ISS and the communications from that.
We'll definitely be doing a video on that.
Yeah, when they 100%. Fly over. So we're gonna give that a buzz, I think.
Yeah. So plenty of content coming on the channel, guys. And if you are a VIP of the channel, make sure you're checking the community tab and stuff on YouTube as well. We are looking at updating our VIP lounge on Facebook. Don't be alarmed. We don't know how yet, but it needs an update. We need to move it to some platform that is a little bit more up to date. We are thinking about it. If you've got any ideas, please post them in the VIP lounge. But keep your eye on there because, lots of content. And we are filming quite a bit of behind the scenes stuff as well. I know we've not posted it yet. We will get it posted in the next day or so. Take it from 30 round up on the south side. Here we go. Turning bit.
Great stuff. I love seeing the Turkish 330s being used. Just shows like the level of capacity that they need these days, because they fly a lot, multiple times a day at Manchester, and quite often with wide body aircraft.
Could be a bit of cargo as well.
Yeah.
EasyJet. Bravo Zulu on the red, in from Palmer.
Easy peasy.
Squeezy lemons. And stick with us, guys, because if you enjoyed that A350 departure a few moments ago, you've got another one coming right up. Singapore A350 out to Houston on the taxi out, folks. So don't go anywhere. Get cozy. Get another brew on. Quick. Because there's a 350 coming out.
I've got a question from Bertley. Have I got any more Santa jokes? I have, but I'm going to save them until Christmas. And there was another question came in from Razorback. How much slack is built into the flight schedule to allow for delays? Normally, not a lot.
Yeah.
When you have a bad summer and everything goes wrong and massive delays, then what they'll do, they'll put in what called 5 rates. So it'll give you a bigger gap between, but we're just waiting for those to start soon.
Right, that makes sense.
Ryanair lined up to depart on the south side, heading out to Prague. And following the Singapore out, we do have the stunning Air France A320. Keep your fingers crossed for a head-on in second departure of that, guys. Another Beluga heading in from Hamburg. Could fly over on its way to Chester, an hour away though. No worries, we'll keep an eye on that. We should still be live practically route.
Today will be a
I've
great
seen
day.
you commenting on a lot of pre-recordings as well, so thank you very much, dude.
Today will be a great day to be at Harden, spotting these belugas. Whoa.
Yeah.
And a bit of an update from Mark on the 380.
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes out at the moment, just coming up past Leek.
Nice.
Hey, that's Sam's neck of the woods, that.
Is it?
Yeah, she lives about 10 minutes from there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
One of the FOs lives there, good lad. He's, well, he used to, he's moved near the airport now because he was sick of the drive, but it's a bit of a trek to get in
I
every
was
day.
going to say, that is a bit of a drive, isn't it?
His other half was working down sort of past East Mid, so it was sort of midway for the pair of them.
Wow. It's like an hour without traffic.
Icebird on Twitch, thanks very much for the video link, mate. I'll definitely be checking that out when we get back to the office this afternoon.
Jenny's asking, is there another way to bring the wheels down if they malfunction? Yes, there is. There's all aircraft will have a alternate gear release system. 7.5 and the 7.6 had it electrically. You had a switch. Lot Poland had a problem with one of their 7.6s. The breaker had popped behind the FO. They couldn't get the wheels down, and they hadn't clocked that this breaker was pushed, had tripped. So when they flicked the switch, the gear still didn't come down, so had to do a wheels up landing, and it was a bit embarrassing because it was quite avoidable. On the 320, on the back of the centre console, you have a handle that you lift up, and you turn it 3 times. And it's gravity extension. It will drop the wheels, but once they're down, chances are they'll be stuck down unless you can get some hydraulics or some way of getting them back up.
But is a belly landing possible in an Airbus? Or?
Yeah. I mean, there's no. The wheels should come down all right. Once you do the gravity gear release, all the up locks are released, and the wheels just fall down free.
Because they weigh a huge amount.
Oh, they're heavy. Yeah. If you get them stuck, I mean, years ago there was a Virgin 340 at Heathrow had one wheel stuck. It was tangled up in some cables or something. It was an engineering issue.
Wow.
And I actually fly with the captain's daughter, a lady called Kate Barnby. She's a brilliant FO. She's a training FO now, actually. And the videos of him on YouTube bringing this thing down, with one wheel stuck up. I think Virgin had a 7.4 Gatwick a few years with a wheel stuck up. Sometimes you get nose wheels that stick. Again, you practice it in the sim sometimes, abnormal gear. And you turn that handle 3 times and they should come down.
Yep. And you can tell from the flight deck when the gear is down.
Yeah, well,
right?
no, sort of. You've got 2 different indications. You've got one on the centre screen and one 3 green lights by the actual handle, the gear handle. So if you've got 3 greens on one and not the other, the gear's down. it could be a sensor fault, but there's even the sensors are backed up.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you might have one that it doesn't light up properly, but the other one says it's down, it's down.
Matt Healy, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat, saying it's a nice treat being able to watch the Wednesday show. Great to see Mark as well, and Matt Cam is looking great. Yeah, it really is. Really is looking good today.
Abandon UK is asking, are the 1974 invented Pappy lights still used? Yes, we've got them at Manchester, we've got them at most airports, and they're very useful when you're actually visually flying, if you're doing a visual approach, and also when you take the autopilot out, you're looking down at the runway, you've got them next to you without having to keep looking in. You can see if you're on the path correctly. And no, I've never even been in a glider, to the other question.
That was random.
Yeah, he asked if I'd ever flown a glider. There was a gliding place just 5 minutes from where I actually live in the northeast.
Oh, wow.
And I was going to have a go, and then I saw how much it cost, and I thought,
Is it pricey?
I was surprised how expensive it is. Yeah.
Is it a fuel cost? Oh wait.
yeah. You're burning all that fuel.
Wasn't enough wind to get home, that's actually.
Yeah. No, it was something like 80 to 100 quid for like 20 minutes. I was like, that's quite strong, that.
That's nuts.
A350, 900. Next to depart, Matt Cam giving you a cheeky zoom into the engine there. Absolutely awesome. And there it is, Singapore A350 out to Houston. Flight 4,700 miles. Nice Aviation 23. Have a great time, mate. Enjoy this departure, guys. Fingers crossed for another naughty engine sound coming right up.
That's Singapore Airlines A350 on a shorter flight than the last one. Only heading off to Houston, Texas.
That was incredible timing by me on the unmute there, I'm just going to say.
Oh yeah.
I did not know that I wasn't. I just unmuted as well. The second I unmuted you, you spoke. I was like, go on then. I'll be that.
Oh, well, there you go. Nice.
Awesome, yeah, mega departure. And as the Air Transat touches down, the A380 is not long behind it. It's already on the ILS next to land over Stockport.
I see him.
I've got a question here from Ra talking about a flight out of LAX where the nose wheel got stuck sideways and they emergency landed. They're saying, could they have not gone to the destination and landed there? Well, the problem you've got is with the nose wheels turned 90 degrees. It was a problem that happened with Airbuses a few years ago. You can't get the nose wheel up. And when you've got the wheels down, the fuel burn goes up dramatically. And if you've got all three wheels stuck down, it goes up by 180%. So you're burning 3 times what you normally would. So if your diversion fuel's a tonne, you're now looking you're going to burn 3 tonnes.
Wow.
And seeing as a lot of the time you're coming in here with 2.6 tonnes, then, you've got a problem. So, yeah, you've got to...
we got time. We got time. Come on, go quick, because that is a beautiful shot on that camera. Pilatus. We'll give you 380 as well. Don't worry, guys. We're not going to lose a 380.
Get that picture.
I am, but it's over the clock. Go on, go quick. I'm trying to let you have a go. Please. Nope, Matt's abandoned it as well. We'll go to 380. Beautiful prop aircraft though.
Yeah,
on
really
the
pretty.
south side. Pilatus PT-12.
Love that silver colour that they come in.
Mid-right under. Oh, off really early for the 380.
Yeah, rapid exit taxiway to our right. Oh, a bit of a Wookiee howl as well from them, Pratt & Whitney engines.
What a show today.
On Sunday it used full length, didn't it? Because had a bit of a floaty landing. Loving it.
Hope you enjoyed that, guys. We did manage to bring you both with the picture-in-picture. Is it a yay or nay for picture-in-picture, guys, on things like that? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm doing my best to bring you all the shots, but I know the A380 is a big favourite. So if you're happy with a little picture-in-picture on things like that, let me know. Yay or nay, guys? I think it was worth it.
Gillian's asking me what our favourite holiday destination is. Believe it or not,
Newcastle.
Well, yeah. Me and the wife and the kids are going to Palma in October, and that's going to be the wife and the kids' first time abroad.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. When we told the kids, my 13-year-old cried for an hour and a half. She was that happy. I showed her the pictures of the hotel. Oh, it's paradise and all this.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll tell you how it is in October.
I bet you're going to have a great time.
I hope so.
Are you going with like a package holiday?
Yeah, there's a thing at work. They give you this voucher towards the holiday side of the thing, and I thought, oh well, we'll use that.
Yes.
But yeah, we normally just go on hollybobs in the UK. Go and
That's
visit
awesome.
family or friends, or
You'll find yourself a bit addicted to it. Lying by the pool, a few drinks and whatever.
The thing is, where I live in the northeast, I'm sort of 40 minutes from the beach anyway, so we just get the paddle boards and go out to the beach. You know, it's obviously a bit colder, but
I was going to say it's a little bit different.
well, on my 13-year-old's birthday in March, her birthday request was to go to the beach, and she spent an hour and a half sitting in the North Sea in March.
Oh, there you go.
And we're all there wrapped up, and we've gone blue, and she comes out looking like a lobster and quite happy,
Jen's like that. Jen will swim anywhere. She's not bothered how cold it is.
Yeah.
Anything. Just loves swimming.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to go wild swimming in Snowdonia.
Oh, yeah.
In the summer, that's really nice because it's a really nice temperature and It's good fun. Need to get back into that.
Nice shot of the squad up front on the A380.
Yeah, front office for the King of the Skies. Great shot here at the Runway Visitor Park, Manchester Airport.
Make sure you come down, enjoy a great day out, guys. Enjoy these views that we're bringing you today. An awesome location for spotting at Manchester. And if you are enjoying today's show, help us out for free if you can by clicking the like button, guys. It really does help. And if you're brand new to us today, please get a message in the chat and introduce yourself. We'd love to welcome you in.
But yeah, I think Palma will be an awesome place, though. I think it's a gorgeous island, Mallorca, and
yeah, I hope so. Seems to be quite nice. I know people who've been there where we've been said it was good. So we will see. I'll send you a postcard.
not not too long of a flight either.
No,
which is nice.
No,
not like Hurghada or Lanza.
And Steve, thank you very much, saying no picture at all for me today as I'm driving. But this is the only aviation channel where the commentary is as entertaining as the aviation. Thank you very much, dude. That's very kind of you, mate.
Thank you.
And apologies for the little message that pops up before that, guys. It switched down before I sent it in, but I'm sure that person's been banned already, so there we go. Emirates A380 heading into stand, beyond stand 12. Hopefully they stay on stand 12 for quite a while because there are 2 Emirates gates coming to the new terminal.
2 A380 gates.
Yeah, sorry, 2 A380 gates, correct. Yeah, so keeping fingers crossed. We keep a nice view of them for as long as we can, although I'm sure with MatCam we'll still get a great view.
What's that? Is that Mark's favourite?
Where? Police chopper.
Oh, what, the Barton Badgie? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I was looking for 757 when he said Mark's favourite. Yeah, there's the Barton Badgie going back home. Bless it.
Yeah.
Seen that yesterday as well when we were filming.
And for those asking on a sub count update, currently 494,280 subs. It's absolutely flying by, guys, I'm not going to lie. It's, can we put that there? There it is. You can see it's absolutely ticking up nicely, guys. If you'd like to support the channel, please click the subscribe button, guys. We'd really appreciate it. Help us hit that goal of 500,000 subscribers to the largest live aviation channel outside of the US.
I don't know what we're going to do to celebrate it, but I definitely want to do something. We'll at least do a video to say thank you and all that.
Flying Architects asking about reverse thrust. Is it used primarily to help stop the plane, or are they really there to take pressure off the brakes? It depends on the aircraft. It depends on the situation. With the Airbus, if you're using auto brake low and idle reverse, then it just takes the pressure off the brakes. It doesn't shorten your landing distance in any way. It just takes the pressure off the brakes. If you're going into Isle of Man and Jersey and you're using auto brake medium and full reverse, then it helps you stop quicker. When you do your performance calculation on a dry runway, the apps will not use reverse. Even though, unless you select it, it will assume you're not using reverse. It won't take it into account. It's there as a bonus. Mm-hmm. If it's a wet runway, it always assumes that you'll use either reverse. Right. And if you select max reverse, then it'll use that as well.
Interesting. And Tom, thank you very much for returning for 4 months of Airliners Live membership. So you just got back from sixth form to the King. Nice one, great timing.
Now, your Air France has moved.
Nice.
No 220s off blocks.
Took a while, that, didn't it?
It's a slot. Would you believe it's down to en route ATC industrial action? French air traffic are on strike again.
ATC again.
Would you believe that?
Never seen that before.
No.
And MGB returning for half a year of business class membership. Thank you, MGB.
Should get that in the bingo.
And over on the south side, as you can see in the background of the shot there, we do have the Lingus ATR heading out. But we'll stick with the EasyJet for now.
The Hotel Nike. It's one of the heavyweight Neos. It's a 77 tonner. So what you normally see on the Hurghadas and the Shams and the Tel Avivs.
What does that mean though? Like
the Airbuses can lift any, up to its max takeoff weight. But what you do is you register them at different weights, and it cuts down on the airways fees. So how much it costs the airline to fly the aircraft through people's airspace depends on the weight of the aircraft. So you've got that one, which is a 77 tonner, and then you get midweight ones, which are 75.5 tons max takeoff weight, and then you get lightweight ones, which are 73.5. And I was in a 73.5 the other day when I went to 10 hours of grief, and we to get all the passengers and the bags and the fuel on, you didn't have a lot left to play with, and it was quite windy and sporty down in Tenerife, so we were scratching around getting them to reroute us a bit more of a direct route so we could get the extra fuel on.
Roy J, thank you very much for the 5 months of membership, saying happy to stay part of this great community. We're happy to have you, Roy, as well. Thank you very much for returning to us for 5 months on your membership.
Cheers, Roy. It was nice seeing you at the TAS Fair back in February.
Yeah, and Lisa Shannon saying loving this channel. Welcome in, Lisa. Thank you very much.
Seems like so long ago, the TAS Fair, but in memory it just feels like it was the other week. It was nice to see many of you guys there. We've got another one coming up on the 22nd of July. Make sure you got it in your calendars, of course.
Yeah, going to be a busy one, that, I think.
Yeah, we'll be here at the Runway Visitor Park in the Concorde hangar with the Airliners Live stand, meet and greet, and also selling Airliners Live merchandise.
I'm off that day.
Oh, yeah. Good lad.
You were at the last one, weren't you?
I was, enjoyed it immensely. I never stopped.
Yeah. Every time I looked at you, you were busy.
Yeah, you absolutely smashed it. The whole team just turned up and got behind the channel that day. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, all the mods who were there, and special mention, I guess, to Owen Flemo's dad,
mate,
Paul.
He just turned up and said, "Right, I'm running shot. Tell me what sizes you need." And he was there just running the boxes all day, man.
The whole day he was just there.
Smashed it.
Just, getting stock out and checking what we've got in. And
yeah, always, I don't know, there's something about that for me that, when people just turn up to give you a hand and you haven't even spoke to them, you haven't asked them. Yeah, it just really kind of sort of talks about the character, and the whole team turned up, man. The whole team turned up to help us on that day, and yeah, it was a really, really good day.
Yeah.
And again, thanks to everyone in the community who turned up as well, because it'd be a little bit awkward if we had all those tables and only a few people came. So thanks to everyone who made the effort to come as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love them events.
Another question here from Michael. When we fly to Egypt, do you fly back on the same shift, or would that exceed regulations? Well, there's a video on that on the Airliners Live page about how long we can fly. But yeah, we do. The plan is you go to Egypt and back in the same day. It's normally about 5.25 down and 6 hours back normally.
Wow.
But because we've got a good union, they have negotiated, we have to have a day off before and a day off after. And it's called a restricted duty, and there are all these extra little bits to go with it to make it a little bit more bearable. But it is a really, really long time in day.
Yeah, because I'd say for most people travelling, the flight or the drive wherever you're going is what really takes it out of you, and you guys are doing that every day.
Yeah.
So it's remarkable how. I mean, do you just eventually just get used to it and just it doesn't really affect you too much, or?
It depends. I mean, again, if we were doing pilot's health, we'd have to talk about fatigue and cumulative fatigue and all this sort of thing. I've been off with fatigue before. It is monitored at my company. They do have a fatigue monitoring system in place, and if you look at a roster and think that looks a bit much, you can send it in and they'll analyse it. I mean, on the 7.5 it was better because it flies faster, so it doesn't take quite as long.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it can be a right drag, and again, like I said, with the fuel coming back, I remember coming back in the storm Storm Dudley? Yeah, Storm Dudley, the bad
Right.
one we had at the beginning of the year, last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, I was in Hurghada and I couldn't put on as much fuel as I would have liked. And we were coming in here, we didn't have that many, well, we didn't have any really good options to go. Just thank God, we got down first go. Everyone else, a lot of other people going around. But, when you're coming back and the weather's trumpy, then it gets a bit interesting. You have to have a little thing. Sometimes you have to offload passengers and bags and that. But, with the long flights, there are, because, again, we've got a good union. They sort things out like this for us, whereas certain airlines, they just run to the European regulations that were forced on us by Europe a few years ago without, any thought. I think Ryanair had a hand in it, I'm not sure, but they extended everyone's hours and said, well, you can all work an extra 3 hours a day for no extra money. And, a lot of people are walking around very, very tired. This month, like I said last month, I was almost at max hours for the month. And you feel it. You do feel it.
And Andy Owen in the chat saying, I did a Hurghada yesterday, 12:20 p.m. check-in, 03:20 a.m. check-out. That was a long day.
Yeah, it's not a fun day out, that is it?
No. But over on the south side, we do have a BizJet on the way out, German registered. Short flight over to Amsterdam, Cessna 525. Do you know anyone who does sort of high-profile movements, BizJet stuff?
There is a lad here. He used to be a dispatcher at Newcastle years ago. A guy called Pez. He flies one of the BizJets that's normally parked up there, but I haven't seen him in a couple of years. But no, other than that, I don't. I had a couple of mates who used to work for NetJets, and they both ended up out in Qatar. But yeah, it's. I don't know too much about the business, mate.
I see Qatar Airways are getting the Maxes as well, which I think they look really smart in the Qatar livery. I think that they suit the Maxes more than like the triples. I think smaller planes.
I must admit, I think the Max just kind of looks good on most liveries. To be honest, I think just a good-looking aircraft in general.
It's quite a photogenic plane, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely an improvement, and it's a nice plane to fly on as a passenger. It handles turbulence well. I've noticed is the biggest improvement. It's quiet as well, smooth flight, feels like heavy and tanky compared to the NG. I wish I'd flown on the Neo more often though, because that too is a nice plane to fly on.
I'm hearing something proppy. There's a Lockheed 130, Andy, just going over the south side right now, straight on, head on. Can we see it?
They're always hard to see them because they never make trails.
He's only at 20,000 feet.
We can hear it.
Like
It's always towards the end of the field now. Keeping an eye on Matt. Matt's looking for it as well.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I do see it.
Matt's giving it a buzz.
Right now with the tripod, probably not getting it, but that's right.
Has Matt got it? Matt's giving it a good go. We can see it, guys. They're all
Has
all trying. They're all looking.
Yeah, it's really hard with the displays and stuff.
Yeah, I think
it's a bit too sunny. Is the problem.
Oh! Matt Cam, let's get some 10 out of 10s in the chat for Matty Boy Smith, mate.
Matt's got eyes, hasn't he?
Matt is absolutely smashing it, guys.
The guys with the eyes.
Fair play, Matt.
Nice one, Matt.
Unfortunately, we don't have Matt on comms today because he left his headset behind, but he just said, "Don't worry, mate, I'll film absolutely everything." And there it is. So what have we got over the top here, Andy, then?
I'm not sure.
It looks like the American Dreamliner heading to Dallas.
There you go.
Nice catch.
That was awesome.
Hey, well done, guys. And yeah, well done, Matt.
Great job, Matt. Matt's the guy for that, isn't he?
Yeah, that Herc out of Bryce Norton, heading up north.
Lords Who Travel is still one away from a full house.
Wow.
Ooh.
You've got about an hour left. Can you do it?
Good choices then, Paul Murphy. Great choices, mate.
I seen John Russell had a question for you, Mark. I don't know if you've seen it in the chat.
Hey, let's have a look.
Yeah, maybe you can give it a quick scroll.
Ah, right. What, the ninja disguise? Right. Okay. You need to get the camera on here.
Right.
Ready?
Let me move out the way. Gonna zoom in.
What we getting ourselves into here? I'm gonna get out of the wind for a sec, 'cause there's wind noise. I need to watch this.
I did not expect that. I did not expect that. Oh my days.
Yeah, and they let me fly planes. Eh?
Oh gosh.
I've just seen the replay now.
You need to get one of them for Dak, Andy.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's so good.
That's funny.
Twitch, you need to get a clip of that.
Get it? Clip Twitch.
That's just made the whole show. That.
Right, thanks for tuning in on this show, guys. Not going to get better than that. So we'll see you next week.
I'm pretty sure Captain Mark is a bingo square as well.
Oh yeah.
I have been on it. Yeah, I have seen a few of that because I remember once I came up on the chat and Andy said that that's good enough. You can have that one, and someone got. I think they got a full house out of it. But
yeah, I guess we see you in person, we see you in the flight deck, we see you in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not expect that either, chat. That took me by surprise.
Jet2 A380 due after 1. Is that the air tanker one, or could it be?
Let's have a goosey gander.
One that we haven't seen on the stream yet.
Mike gasped. He feared nudity. No. No.
I must admit, I was slightly concerned where it was going, but I stuck with it.
That's why I've got a black T-shirt on underneath it as well.
Yeah, that could have been. Could have been very different.
Yeah, Jet2 A330 arriving in 40 minutes time. So,
cool.
To be honest, guys, that's probably a great aircraft to wrap up on today, because the Qatar, which we like to wait for, is arriving around the same time as well. So we'll finish on either the Qatar triple, which is currently saying 57 minutes away, but I'm pretty sure it's not, or the A330, whichever comes last.
Is it one of the air tankers?
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, it's the air tanker operated jet.
Yeah, when I was filming, when was it, yesterday? I was fortunate enough to see the World to Fly A330 they've got leased at the moment, and I think that looks really nice. It's a cool hybrid scheme. It's got the World to Fly engines, wingtips, and tail, but it's also got the Jet2 branding on it as well. So I think that's really nice. Awesome. And that's a 330-300, which is the larger, whereas the air tanker A330 is a 200 series. But we see the air tanker 330s most summers, don't we, with Jet2 here in Manchester. And someone mentioned to me, I've not seen this officially, but that one of the A330s are staying with it year-round now with their Jet2.
Oh, nice.
Which makes sense. I mean, Jet2 are expanding pretty quick, aren't they? And I think capacity is required, so these wide-body Airbuses are really helping them out, especially going into the summer months.
I would like my outfit to get some 330s. That would be good.
Yeah.
Well, there's the flypigs.com.
As we feel like planes are getting smaller, I think the opposite. I think, because didn't you mention that there's a reason for, rather than just getting more planes, they're more incentivized to want to get bigger planes?
Yeah, the skies are getting full, especially over Europe and North America. That's why you pick up these air traffic slots a lot of the time. Again, I know we were chatting about doing a video on why the plane's delayed, and one of them is you get these slots from ATC. They say you can't fit any more planes in the sky.
Yes.
And the only way you get more people in the sky is to put bigger planes in. So this is what air tankers doing, and it's a brilliant business plan. You get a massive big plane, you fill it up with people, all economy seating, bucket and spade route, chuck them out on the beach, bring them back a week later, and just do that every day. And yeah, it's a good earner. It's the only way you can do it. And like I said, Airbus still have all the tooling and all the jigs for the A380.
Yeah.
And maybe one day it might make something similar may come back, because there's more and more people, and there's more and more people want to go flying, and it's the only way you're going to do it. You're going to have to get bigger planes.
Yeah. Wow.
I was watching a video the other day on the A330neo, actually. I'm not sure how true it is, but they were saying that obviously with the longer haul aircraft, they're mainly designed to be in the air for longer periods of time and maybe doing 2 flights a day. So their systems aren't really designed to be completely pressurized and depressurized a lot of times a day, like the short haul aircraft are. And what they were saying was with the new 330neo, they're building that in a bit more so that they can put it on shorter flights. So like people like Kuwait are doing like a few hour flights in the 330neo now. Yeah. And they were kind of taking that in to try and get more capacity on the shorter routes with the bigger aircraft. But I don't know how accurate that is. But they were saying that was one of the big selling points of the 330neo, is that it can do the shorter flights and repeatedly take off and land and start and stop.
Well, this all come out with the Comet. The stresses of pumping the aircraft up, depressurising, pumping it up, depressurising. The metal fatigue wasn't known back then, and one of the airlines wanted bigger windows. They put these bigger windows in, and then these planes started crashing. It really, it worked quite quickly from there when they worked out about the problems with pressurisation in aircraft. Now, the Japanese used to have 747-400Ds for domestic. So they'd buy these 747s. They didn't have the winglets on, and they were 400s, and they'd fly them domestically around Japan. And all the short haul flights on a 747.
That sounds awesome.
And it was full economy, chuck it full of people, off you go. And then when the aircraft reached about 3/4 of its service life, they put the winglets on and then just have it doing long haul to get the last of the life of the aircraft out.
Wow.
That was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Carl's asking, do I ever fly with brand new first officers with another pilot in the jump seat? No, I'm not a training captain. We do sometimes have pilots on the jump seat who are about to start their training just watching. We can give them hints and tips and that. What we do get is that when you get a new first officer who's just finished his line training, they have a mark, 3 stars next to their name, so you know they're brand new. But, they pass their line check, they're the first officer. It's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Beautiful Pegasus 21 Neo next to depart on south side. This is going to be a nice one, guys. Mass design as well.
Awesome stuff. You can see like Pegasus as well upgrading their aircraft size to the 321 Neo, and multiple times a day as well.
Daniel's asking if he thinks EasyJet would ever try the 321 LRXL. I'll do some longer haul stuff. I don't think they would at the moment. The mindset of the people at the top of the company isn't really pointing that way. But I think they do need. I think they are planning on getting more 321s and Neos rather.
And keep your fingers crossed, ladies and gents, for some Wookiee action. The Air France A220. I don't care what comes in now. Don't care how big it is, how noisy it is. I've got all the buttons down here, and we're watching this one, all right? This is by far my favourite aircraft at the moment, the A220.
You do love it, don't you?
I love it.
It's nice to see Air France operating it. They usually operate the A319 or the 20s. Sometimes the 21s, actually, as well.
Keep your fingers crossed that it doesn't take the EasyJet intersection, guys. We want it either head on. Right, here we go. It's lined up. We don't want it to turn. If it turns right, we want it to do an immediate left straight after. Keep those fingers crossed, guys, because we may get some mega Wookiee action here.
Yeah, get all the Wookiees in the chat, guys.
Get Matt just wafting him towards him, saying, go long, you might as well, it's safer. You got more runway. No need for an intersection. There's nobody behind you. Oh,
she's slowing down.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I think she's going straight on. Is she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bosh-tastic.
All the Wookiee emotes, guys. Let's go. the nicest pairs of Wookiees. Oh, you can hear it.
Hey, didn't disappoint there, chat.
Well worth the wait.
What a plane.
That's cool, isn't it?
That is top, that. That is top.
Another cool modern Airbus aircraft.
I was wondering, Mark, because when you look inside the cockpit on those, obviously they were Bombardier aircraft, and it is completely different, like, when you're stepping into them. And I was wondering, would there be, like, any benefit to Airbus potentially looking at remodelling the cockpit of those to make them more transferable between pilots? I mean, I know it's a huge job, but it's like it's weird because with Airbus, I think their thing is, well, you can get in any of these and fly them. Yeah. Whereas that one doesn't fit that.
Doesn't fit, does it? No. I mean, it's the cost involved. It'd be massive to re-cockpit, and it's already a modern cockpit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't. I don't know. I mean, never say never, but I cost benefit analysis. I wouldn't say it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
No, it's a different aircraft.
For someone to train you to fly a 330, for example, versus a 767 or a Dreamliner, should I say?
Yeah.
Like, obviously the 330, I assume, would be easier for you.
Oh yeah. It's a short differences course. They call it a differences course. You learn about the difference of the aircraft, and it is a different aircraft. It looks the same, from inside, but it is quite different. There's a bit of a floaty float there.
That was a float, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Been a few today, hasn't there?
Yeah. It's a different aircraft, but it's a differences course. Whereas the Dreamliner is a complete type rating, 3 months type rating, simulator, ground school.
That's what I mean, and I just wonder whether that puts off other companies who would potentially go for the 220.
Yeah.
Taking it on, and I just wonder, like, obviously there is cost, and it does come down to that. I just wondered, would the increased sales go towards covering that? I mean, I don't know, but
I don't know. If I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I agree, though. I mean, I've watched quite a few videos on it. It's an ultra modern cockpit.
Yeah.
But it is a world away from anything Airbus.
Yeah. I noticed Terry talking to training, he was asking, do I have anyone flying with me to check my ability, or it's all simulator based? It's both. Every 6 months you're in the simulator, 3 days in the winter, 1 day in the summer. And also, once every 2 years, you have a training captain sit on the jump seat and watch you do a flight somewhere and back. And it's called a line check. So, yes, we have both. Moonface is asking time allowed for delays. He's heard it's a lot because a plane can leave an hour or two late and still land on or before the time they're scheduled. Not with short haul, we're not. Maybe with long haul.
Yeah.
With short haul, you want to be landing, punters off, punters back on, go. So if you're late, it knocks the whole schedule out for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes with long haul, you can take off, say, late out of JFK. If you've got strong jet streams up at height, your flight time can be dramatically reduced. When we made through the Dreamliner, there was a guy who was in the papers. He'd done the shortest crossing on the Dreamliner. It was a Norwegian Dreamliner a few years back. It was the shortest amount of time from New York to Gatwick that had ever been done, other than Concorde. It was 3.5 hours or something ridiculous. I can't remember what it was. It had his massively strong jet stream, and he'd done it about 2 days before, and it took him about 3:45. So then you could land super early because you've got this wind.
But in your case, is there anything you can do to make up time in the air? I mean, can you speed the aircraft up?
You can, but it burns a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
If the company may ask you to increase the cost index, we've talked about that on shows before. In your flight computer, you have a thing called a cost index, and it's weighing up flight time and fuel burn. So quicker flight time, more fuel burn, more cost. Longer flight time, flying slower, less fuel burn, less cost. And we normally fly around at a lower cost index. Where the problem comes in is with these EU compensations that you have to pay if you're more than 3 hours late on stand. So I remember, a few times the companies messaged us and said, please use a higher cost index to get them back in a little bit quicker. But you're going to save a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes at most. On a longer flight, a bit more, but you're going to burn a lot more fuel.
Right, yeah.
Planespotting Mike's looking forward to seeing us fly out tomorrow on the south side, fly high into the skies. It's a good channel I follow. Planespotting Mike, bless him, he was up here a few weeks ago. I was coming in from Malta, and him and Will P were up on that mound in the pouring rain. I mean, it was absolutely stotting it down. And I came out, and there's these two pair of drowned rats waving at me. So I had to do the old Will P dance for them, at the flight deck, because their dedication to the cause was amazing. I was so impressed.
Yeah, they are good lads.
They are good lads.
If you are enjoying today's show, guys, help us out. Smash that like button for us, folks. And if you're really enjoying the show and you'd like help cover the costs of the channel, why not become one of our awesome VIPs? Just click the links in the chat or click the dollar symbol, then click join. You can also send in a donation to the channel if you wish as well to help cover the costs. But all we ask at the moment is you give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new so you can get involved in the fantastic community we've got here on the channel, guys.
We are 4 of us in the team today. We've got Martin producing the show in the studio. We've got me up on the camera. We've got Matt, one of our moderators, on the Southside remote cam. And we've got a guest with us, very special guest, Captain Mark, who's an Airbus captain based here at Manchester Airport. Flies, you're flying tomorrow, did you say?
Yep, off to Dalaman tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Nice long day.
And it's always a pleasure having you on the show. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to get them in the chat. Ryanair 737-800, touching down. A lot of braking used right at the end there, just to slow it down.
Wants to get off, doesn't he?
Yeah, right in front of us.
It's in from Murcia. 2 hour, 30-minute flight for that aircraft. Ryanair UK. Yeah, but really good show today. Nice and busy. Loads going on. And loads going on when we get back to the office as well, guys. Plenty going on behind the scenes at the HQ at the moment. VIPs will be bringing you more updates on that as soon as we can.
G-Rook, the plane that took us to Lanzarote in March.
Lanzarote.
Yeah. So the Ryanair UK aircraft are definitely the lower in terms of maintenance, in terms of the cabin. We had tray tables fallen to bits, and the plane wasn't very well pressurized, and of course I know it's all safe and they've got impeccable safety records, Ryanair, but flying back we were on a Max 8200 and the difference was night and day.
And thank you very much, Danny, saying first time watching. Keep up the great work. Welcome, Danny, brand new community member in the chat.
That Ryanair there is 13 years old, so you wait, Andy, till you get on that Max when it's 13 years old to see the state of it.
That's it. It's crazy, because then you look at Jet2, the 757s, you fly on them, and they're so comfy, in terms of pressurization, maintenance and things, and they're over 30 years old.
Yeah, and proper airlines, that's why.
They still fly like they're new.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. But obviously, Ryanair, they do get bashed a bit inside. And I don't think they're as strenuous with the checks in the cabin and kind of logging faults and things. I did drop something under my seat and I reached down to grab it and I picked it up and it was all of a sudden I had a Kit Kat, half-eaten Kit Kat. That wasn't mine.
Excellent. Was it nice? Does it still taste all right?
Sadly, I can't eat chocolate, so...
Can you not?
No. Can't have lactose.
Oh, right. I'm glad I brought you sour snakes instead of
That's it, yeah. Yeah.
Next to land, Turkish A321 Neo in from Istanbul.
Paul's asking if I've flown the 380. I haven't. I know someone who has, but no, it goes too far for me. Someone's asking how far do you get your flighting schedule? You get a roster on the 17th of each month for the next month, and that's about as far as you know. Someone's asking, do you think we'll see any larger twin jets or at the max with the 77X? I don't know. The problem is, obviously, it's got the folding wingtips because the size of it and the size of the gate, you've got a standard size of gate. So it's got to fit in that gap. So I don't know. I mean, the technology is moving quickly. The engine's getting bigger and better. Wing technology is moving on. So, I don't know. I mean, they've got to get that new 777 sorted yet. They're having loads of problems with it.
God, they really are, aren't they?
It's a nightmare.
Boeing are having a nightmare, aren't they, the last few years?
Yeah. It's a far different company to when the 75, 76 and even the 777 was made.
Yeah.
Were we initially expecting them in 2024 or 5, I think?
24, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's like, well, that's not going to happen, is it? Because we were hyped to see them. I think it's Etihad who have placed an order for them. Could be wrong.
Emirates, I think, have ordered some.
Yeah, definitely Emirates. There was an airline we were expected to see here with them. Maybe Emirates might fly them, but I doubt it. But here, Manchester, I mean, but to see them at Manchester would be something else. So, seeing them on South Side lining up in front of you, massive engines.
Probably will do one day, but it won't be this year. Next year.
Yeah.
Cheers, homeboy. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoying the show. It's fascinating. Keep up the job, guys, from Finland. Thank you very much, mate.
Man Travels is asking, why don't I like Lanzarote? I just don't. I mean, obviously it's a lovely place to go for your holidays, but the airport I'm not overly keen on. Runway 21's hard work to get in on. You're coming in over the high ground. It's a shortish runway. The weather can be quite windy there. It's just, it's just a difficult airport.
Can be proper blustery there.
Yeah.
Every time I've ever been there in like March time, it's always been pretty windy.
And Ian's asking, yes, I have done Skiathos in the 7.5. Again, difficult airports in that is better because it handles better, and also it'll get you out of the way quicker.
Get you out quicker if you want to have another go.
Did they have the spotters there when you were there, or was that not a big thing back then?
Yeah. I mean, it was years ago. There's always people on the beach. You don't really get a chance to see them unless you're taking off. One of our cabin crew, her mum was injured I think it was Skiathos. She was on the beach near the airport, and the blast of the engine blast blew her over, and she was quite badly injured by it.
It's really lethal. That
you've got to be careful.
Not only blowing over, but the debris that's kicked up as well. Big rocks and things. Got to be careful with that.
Your good lady's asked me a question. How do I get rid of hundreds of spiders and do I want to buy a mint BMW? What you do is you get your other half to get rid of the spiders. And no, I don't want a BMW, but thank you anyway.
Sounds like a lot of spray needed for that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of chemicals.
Sorry, are the spiders in the BMW? Is that what we're saying here?
They've been driving it around.
There's been a bit in the chat about these spiders.
Because it sounds like you're trapped at work to me. If that's the case.
Fire. That will get rid of them.
Yeah. And with it being a BMW, it'll probably catch fire.
Well, I didn't want to say nothing, especially since Sam's been working on it. You never know, do you?
I'm joking. I have absolutely no ideas about cars. But there we go. I'm sure they're very safe.
319.
Oh yeah, you're a fan of these, aren't you?
Yeah, I came in the other day in one, and we had the wind. It was over the terminal, like I've said before. When it's over the terminal, it's horrible. It was 290, 18 gusting 29, and I was so pleased I was in one of them. Coming flat free, and it was all right. Yeah,
it was easy.
Wasn't that easy?
But we've seen quite a lot of really gusty days lately, haven't we? Like gusting 29, 30, 31.
Windy tomorrow. I think it's
looking windy tomorrow. I think they're on 05s as well.
Yes,
So
yeah, it's swapping.
I'd be tempted to nip down and get some of the more windy landings on 05s.
Yeah, it's the wind's going round to easterly 8, and then there's a 30% chance from 11 o'clock until the end of the forecast. 09015 gusting 25. That'll be boring.
Gusting 25.
Don't fancy that.
Yeah. Still feel that.
Oh yeah, you'd feel that, all right.
Got that really nice looking Urini ATR going out, and another EasyJet as well. Not a Neo. Don't think it is. I think it's just
I think it's that EasyJet Europe Sea over the Charlottes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's off to Paris.
Paris, Charles de Gaulle. EasyJet now also fly to Orly now, don't they? With from Manchester.
Yeah, I'm going on Sunday, I think.
Awesome.
Paul's asking if I've ever been in a plane hit by lightning. I haven't. No, first off, I'm flying with in a couple of weeks' time. She was hit by lightning recently on the ground. They were just getting ready to push, and the lightning hit the aircraft while it was parked up on the ramp.
Wow.
And it went in via the first officer's pitot tube, I think it was, and there was 28 burn marks where it left the aircraft.
Wow.
So it
Yeah,
grounded.
I was on an aircraft, and it happened, and it ricocheted off the aircraft and hit the ground.
Oh.
I was going to say,
I
like,
was quite young, but I don't know what happened.
it was literally like not long before they would have been doing a walk around, right? Or obviously got all the people on the ground as well.
Yeah, certainly, of course, if there's a thunderstorm nearby, they stop fueling, stop loading, stop everything.
Yeah.
Which is probably quite a good idea, really.
Zulu Hotel. First to depart out to Paris, Charles de Gaulle. And waiting behind that, back to Guernsey's the ATR. And having a quick look a little bit further afield then, guys. The Jet2 757 air tanker is over Stoke. 757. Did I say, is that what's that? I don't know. I thought I said Jet2. Okay, whatever. You know what it is. Isn't it weird when you say something you don't know what you actually said? But anyway, you all knew what I meant. Jet2 A380 air tanker is over Stoke. And the Qatar is arriving in 29 minutes. So I think, should we wait for Qatar just over the coast?
Yeah. I just have to jump off for a minute.
No worries. Yeah, I'll set your map
Give
cam
me a
for
flask and
moment.
I'll just go up and hold it.
You don't have one on camera?
No, I was going to hold the flask for it. Go in the flask.
Hold the funnel.
That's a bit, right? Yeah.
Alan's asking, do Airbus have inbuilt stairs?
Sorry, I just muted the wrong microphone.
Alan's asking, do Airbus have inbuilt stairs they can deploy like you have the Ryanair have on the 737s? I've not seen it. I think it might be an option, but it adds weight, so you're going to burn more fuel. Talk to fuel, James is asking, have they had low fuel? No, because I always put extra fuel on. I did come out of Corfu a couple of years ago, and we ended up doing a lot of dodging of thunderstorms. The FO was flying it back, and we had put extra fuel on. But because we ended up going so far round, we ended up landing on what's called the company normal reserve. So we had enough fuel to do the landing. If we'd have gone around, we'd had enough fuel to go to the diversional airport, and we had the final reserve fuel of 30 minutes. But we were actually at that. But I've never, as a captain, I've never landed below that. Like I say, I always like to put extra fuel on because, as an old friend of mine who used to teach people how to land the jumbo at Virgin says they're fuel tanks, not air tanks.
Oh, I did reply to you, but I was muted. I'm muting all the wrong buttons today, mate. There goes ATR off on the south runway. We have got a little bit of a break in the traffic anyway, guys. Runway inspection taking place on runway 1. And the Loganair ATR currently waiting to cross as well. The Jet2 A380 is just making the right-hand turn. And that is now on what you would call a downwind leg. And Beluga is not far away. It is slightly clouding over. Do I run?
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah,
you
I can see it
I'm
over-
running
over the
upstairs,
airport.
guys. Stand by.
Okay.
Main cam.
Right. So, Martin's running off to do the camera. See you left with me. Who's going? Paul, take care, mate. It's good to see you. Thanks for your questions, and we'll see you in the next one. Press any buttons?
No, we're good.
Cool. No, we're just having a look for the Beluga that's passing behind the airport now. What's it at? It's at 10,200 feet. Oh yeah, we can see it over there, just passing behind the clouds now. It's the 331, 4 years old. Oh well, he's back.
No, why Andy has never told me that he literally cannot see a thing on that screen up there when the sun's out. Like, I would have just bought him a sunshade for the screen. Like, you cannot see a thing, guys, on that screen. He's coming back. I'll get one ordered for the next show because that's impossible. Absolutely impossible.
Bandon UK's asking, did I fly during your Storm Eunice? Yes, I did. I did Dudley and Eunice. Dudley was the worst one I've ever had. Actually, it hurt me back. We hit a gust at about 3,000 feet and it hurt me. Eunice was pretty bad. We came in from Paris. We had lots of fuel. We got in. There was a big storm to the north coming southbound. And thank God we got in. And I think there was one or two got in behind us and everyone started going around. And as we were taxiing in, we were going past the red hangar back there. And this massive storm came in with sleet. The whole side of the aircraft was coated in sleet. I couldn't see out the side windows, and it was horrible. But no, I don't enjoy the challenging weather at all. It's hard work, and it's not nice. Nice, easy day out. We work so hard. You do so many hours, so many flights. You just want a nice, easy day out without any problems.
Yes, I've told Andy when we get back to the office to order a hood for that screen because
I don't think a hood would help though, because that.
Mate, something that's got to be better than that.
It's
It's black.
Like, I've put my hand over it. Nothing like.
Well, then we need a new screen because you cannot see a thing on that.
You can't.
Mate, you had to go earlier on the thing. You couldn't see it either.
It was quite hard, to be fair.
He's got a good shot at the Beluga.
Yeah, the Beluga earlier.
That wasn't him. That was Matt getting that.
Oh, was that Matt? Oh, of course, it's Matt Cam. Yeah. Oh, I know the legend beyond the joke.
I got the Beluga earlier.
James is asking the first airline I work for. It's a company called Astraeus, and I got a sponsorship with a website called P-Prune, Professional Pilots Rooms Network, and Astraeus. They joined up and they used to do these sponsorships, and they take people with PPLs or airline experience or whatever and train them up, give them a free type rating and then a job. And it was a fantastic airline. Bruce Dickinson, the Iron Maiden singer, was there. I flew the Iron Maiden 757 just before it went on the tour, and I did 3.5 years there. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a great airline. Sorely missed.
Yeah, we are using a monitor, mate. You just can't see anything on it. You're literally just looking at shapes at that point.
Yeah.
We need to fix that because that's.
Yeah, I think also because the roof is so reflective at like looking into the sun.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something we can buy to fix that.
Yeah.
There's probably not very much money because that was impossible. And I ran up the stairs.
So we've got the two arrivals you were talking about, Qatar and the 330. They are pretty far away. I mean, the Qatar's like half an hour away still. That's over London area.
Yeah, the 330 is just on the approach now.
Yeah, that's on final approach now, so I should be able to catch that actually if I zoom in. Maybe you can see it in the sky. No, I can't quite see it just yet.
Not surprised on that screen.
Oh no, I can. Hang on. That's the...
God, this is what... Look, guys. Glasses coming off. He's going to look right and he's squinting his head off. What?
No, I blame the boss not buying him the right kit.
I'm quite happy to buy him whatever he wants. I just didn't know it was an issue
Oh,
until
did you
I
hear
ran
that?
up there.
Hear that, Andy? New car.
That's what, because it's dead sunny out. It's not used to the sun as well.
No, it hasn't. We haven't seen the sun in quite a while.
Usually it's very overcast and dark, and we're not having to deal with
Yeah,
sun.
exactly. Mark Morris. Yeah, higher knit display in the shade would probably sort us out.
Yeah, it has to be quite high knit though. That's the problem.
Right, no, I've never been to Australia. I've never rowed with ATC. Paul's, have you ever rowed with ATC? We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
No, only Muppets row with ATC. You know, I've heard people argue with them. It's just pointless. You sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
So no, I never argue with them. And Mac One's asking, what's the worst route you fly for the possibility of clear air turbulence? The worst turbulence I've had in Europe is a northerly wind over the Pyrenees. So if you're going in and out of Barcelona or Palma, if you've got a strong northerly, the Pyrenees really chop it up. And I remember going out in there, we got caught in a wave. And 1 minute you've got the speed brakes out because you're almost over speed, and next minute the speed's coming off, you've got to get speed brakes away, and it wasn't nice.
Wow.
And no, Philip, we're not allowed to land on the shorter runway. We always land on the longer one at Malta.
Jet2 A380 next to land at Manchester Airport, coming in on runway 23 right. This is one of the least air tanker A330 200s.
We allow non-airline questions, Sasha. Yeah, you don't. Anyone who's new today, guys, you don't just have to talk about aviation in our chat. We're a big community. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, guys, as long as it's respectful and things like that. And don't argue about sports is maybe all I'd ask. But yeah, no, by all means, have a chat, guys. Don't be feeling like the only thing you're allowed to talk about here is planes. That would get very boring very quickly.
We don't just talk about planes.
Talk about pork pies.
We do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Paul's asking, I've only done Innsbruck in the simulator on the 7.5. I've never done it for real. It's favourite approach. I like the one in Manchester because it means I can go home, go to sleep.
And we were talking earlier about using these 330s for shorter routes. This is only coming in from Palma de Mallorca, which is a pretty good deal for anyone wanting to fly on an A330 because it's a pretty short flight.
Yeah, I mean, Lufthansa were putting their 380s on it at one point, weren't they, when they were doing cruise training?
Yes, and the 7.4s in April to Palma as well.
Yeah.
Will you continue the tradition of getting a guest in Andy's spot? Hashtag Mark Cam.
I wouldn't know where to start.
Always going to get off in front of us.
Yeah, looks like it. Awesome.
That's the way to do it. No messing about. Head on.
It's a lovely aircraft, isn't it?
It's nice. The 200's pretty tidy, isn't it?
I like the way that the back wheels sort of grease on, and then you've got it good on your slow-mo, your 330, where the back wheels sort of grease on. And see it wheel it down the runway a bit, and then
I'm going to go and film some more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get a bit more side on.
Yeah,
They landed late, a bit late.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm going to go further down and catch them where it should touch down. I should get some more. 381, I think.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, from 5 left tomorrow as well, 5 right. Landing on 5 right would be good.
They are known as the butter machines, the A330s.
Yes, Paul, I have been into Liverpool a few times. Norman's asking, best plane you've ever flown? 757. Your favourite, it's the best thing I've ever flown. The next best thing was a Piper Apache with uprated engines. And someone asked earlier if I'd ever flown an antique aircraft. This was the closest, to old 75s, and this Piper Apache was ancient, and the interior was immaculate, and it smelt like, it was like what you'd imagine an old 1950s big American car would be like. It was amazing. It had the trimmers in the roof and all that. It was beautiful. And then my next favourite was a 152. I thought it was a fantastic aircraft. Teach people to fly in. Very, very versatile. You could land it. It would stop on a dime. It was brilliant little bit of kit. Used to do steering it with the doors and opening the doors on the 152, and you could steer the aircraft with it.
Oh, nice.
It was good fun. No, I'm not filling in for John while he's off in Vegas. I wouldn't know where to start with flight sim.
We do have a very special guest booked in for the first show, though, guys. I can guarantee you're going to really, really enjoy it. So don't worry, we're not going to leave you without a show.
Yeah, it's a great individual.
Yeah, true buster.
Yeah,
true buster.
Philip's asking, do I have a preferred favourite into Malta? In preference to the packs that go north in over Gozo. Yeah, I always like to go near Gozo. I like to go past St Paul's Bay. And I always give them the history of St Paul's Bay, how St Paul was shipwrecked there with Luke and Aristarchus, and the Alexandrian grain freight that was shipwrecked there. I think it was about 70 AD, and the whole story behind it, and St Paul's time on Malta. I give them all a nice big PA just before the top of descent, so they can look out for it and tell them the things about that. But yeah, Malta's a lovely, lovely place to fly into. Very, very beautiful. Looks quite built up now, though. Looks like they're building a lot on it.
I've only ever had one experience like that with, from the flight deck. And that was with your airline, actually. It was at Gibraltar.
Oh, okay.
And they gave a lot of info about, the rock and how it creates different weather, cloud formations and things, and how different pressures mix and things. And I thought that was really cool. And no other airline's ever done that, actually.
There's a captain at Manchester who flies for a company called EasyJet called Greg Call. He's a lovely bloke, and he's got amazing PAs. He's really very, very knowledgeable. I've got a list of certain places like Malta, Antalya, Paphos, Corfu, any of the Egyptian ones, because you go past the Sinai Peninsula.
Yeah.
So it's where Moses led the Exodus. So I've got all these PAs about history, about things that happened there.
Wow.
And, people come up, thanks. I've got someone I was telling them about the history of Kos. Again, it was visited by, I think, Paul years ago, and there's a lot of Bible history around there. And I give them a big spiel on it. Someone got off and said, "Oh, thanks to the Greek mythology." I'm like, "No, this is actual history of people who actually went there. This isn't Zeus and all of that." But yeah, I like telling them, about the the Exodus, because we actually fly along the route that they took when they came out of Goshen, just to the northeast of Cairo, and then went down to Mount Sinai along the Sinai Peninsula, then turned and went back up northeast, and we actually fly past that route where the Exodus happened. And I've got all these different PAs in my phone that I use. It makes it a bit more interesting for the people. It gives them, something to listen to and something to look for as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you with your commentary, Mark, while I run something by Andy. Stand by.
Yeah.
Okay. Ash is asking, do you have to nose down to follow the curve of the Earth? No, we don't. We just, you're flying at a set pressure over the Earth. So as the Earth moves, say you're 38,000 feet, you just stay at 38,000 feet, and the aircraft will stay there, and you just follow the Earth. You're not actually constantly putting the nose down. Lisa, no, I've not flown out of Blackpool yet. And Colin's asking, are there many captains-only landings in Europe? Actually, where is it? Isle of Man is captains-only takeoff and landing. Innsbruck is, Madeira, Funchal is. 2-1 on Lanzarote is captain's only landing, and for our airline it's only a daytime landing as well, because it's a bit tricky. I'm going to Santorini this week. That's captain's only landing and takeoff because it's an narrow runway, so the visual perspective is different. There are others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Charlie's asking my most recent flight. Where did I go? That's a good question. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. Joys of being a pilot, you just get tired all the time. Oh, it's 10 of grief. 10 hours of grief. That was it, because we got back at 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, I think I've done all the questions.
That's all right, thanks for that.
But yeah, I do think that them PAs from the captain or FO, whatever, about where you are, just adds such a nice touch to it, because you just really remember that as well. And it was like with you seen when we flew with Jet2 on Dakota's birthday. And we didn't even ask for them to do this, but they announced it was her birthday when we landed as well. And just stuff like that, like, it adds so much.
Yeah.
Like that. It's just like no effort really from, pilots or...
Can Andy Cam see Matt Cam from where he is? Yes, we can. Yeah, we showed him on the show earlier on.
Yes.
And Matt can see us as well. There's an EasyJet touching down. Matt Cam's got a beautiful shot of the EasyJet departing soon. Romeo X-ray.
Amiman Travels, I don't know. I don't go into Leeds Bradford on that one. Hayden, yes, it does. And also, I did a lot of research in it to make sure I could make it my PA's factually correct. And Phil was asking, once Southampton makes their runway longer, yes, I think more airlines will use it. It's a good place to go into. We used to go to Bournemouth. That was quite a good one if you ever had a medical emergency, because it's got good hospitals around there, and the ground crew were very sharp and they get in there.
Paul, thank you very much for the 11 months of VIP membership, mate. Nearly a whole year. Thank you very much, Paul. Great to have you with us. And Christine and Philip saying, good afternoon, guys. Great footage as always. Thank you very much, Christine. And saying, Mark, you mentioned Corfu. We recently flew in there. Got the impression it's quite a small runway, or is it just that it's coming in straight off the sea?
It is a small runway, yeah. On the last flight sim show I did just after the TAS Fair with Feza, I demonstrated a circling approach into Corfu onto the southerly runway. But it is a short runway, and I don't like going in there because it's a bit of a tricky airport. And, it's very beautiful, smashing views and all that. But
And watch out, ladies and gents, on Twitch as the main buster himself, Mr. Maverick, raids the Twitch channel with 46 viewers. Absolute legend, Mav. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate it, mate. I've not got your T-shirt on today. Oh, well, next time. Thank you, mate. Cheers for the raid, dude. What have you been doing today?
Quite a few aircraft on the way in.
Cool. You too, Hayden. Nice to see you on here. Moonface. No, I don't see people waving from the sky normally. We normally see people when we line up to take off waving, and when we come on here, I always give everyone here a wave.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for coming across from Twitch. We're Airliners Live. We stream twice a week from Manchester Airport. And today we've got dual runway ops, and we've got two completely unique camera angles around the airfield. One on the north side and one on the south side, being brought into the little studio we got here at the RVP. And I'm pressing some buttons, mixing them together for you guys to give you the very best action of the departures and the arrivals. We've got about 20 minutes left on today's show as we wait for the Qatar triple to arrive, which is going to wrap up the show. That's currently over Stoke, so it's really not far away at all. A 777-300 in from Doha. That's going to be our final arrival for the day.
Yeah, there's about 4 aircraft before that, I think.
Yep, so it looks like we've got Ryanair, EasyJet, Vueling, Ryanair, EasyJet, then Qatar.
Okay.
So we're nice and busy until the Qatar's with us. Taking about 10 minutes time, I think. But massive thanks to everyone who has tuned in today, and for everyone who's thrown in support as well today. It really does help us out a lot.
Yes. Wind's picking up a little bit here at Manchester as well. It started the show quite calm and pleasant, and it's gotten quite gusty now.
And UK, is it true this crew secretly call it Sleazy Jet? It used to be nicknamed Sleazy Jet years ago.
Or Squeezy Jet.
Squeezy Jet, yeah. Philip's asking, what's the trickiest airport I've been into? Funchal, Jib and Palermo are challenging. I haven't done Funchal in donkey's years. The Isle of Man, because it's a really short runway.
Yeah. And
it can get really windy. Corfu, because if you're on the wrong runway and it's windy, it's, you're circling to land like I do in this, one of the videos. You can see me do it, but the weather was good. Last time I actually did it for real, the weather was awful. Cloud base was low, the thunderstorms everywhere. It was windy. It was at night. It was horrible. I went into Lanzarote on 2-1 a few months ago. That wasn't very nice. There's a few. The new Murcia airport went into a couple of weeks ago. Surprised, they put it very close to the hills. You have to come in over hills to get into it. And you're like thinking you've got all that open space. It didn't seem like the best place, and it was rough. We had a northwesterly breeze blowing across the hills, and until we got down to about 600 feet, it was rough. It was quite lumpy. Me and the FO were both going, "What? Why'd they put it here?"
Brody, thank you very much for the 3 months, dude. Welcome back, and say many more to come. Thank you, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel enough to be supporting us as well. Thank you very, very much. What have we got here? Nigel, thank you very much for the info, mate, saying the Qatar is passing north at the airfield westbound. Yeah, the Qatar triple. I wish it was a 350, Nigel. We got a triple with us today. And that'll be our final arrival on today's show as well.
Michael B's got a good one here. How on earth do pilots and ATC hear and understand each other? Every recording he's heard to, like listening to a DJ mumbling at a party. Well, if you go on Google and Google a thing called CAP, C-A-P 413, and it's the radio telephony manual.
And it sounds like a Twitch username, though.
It would be, wouldn't it? But you can download it for free, and it tells you how you should pronounce your words. So you don't say three, you say tree. So, it'd be 1 tree decimal 8 is how you're supposed to say. And once you do it, and if you're ever learning to fly and you're struggling with the radio, buy a scanner. Buy a scanner and spend your time listening to how people are doing it. And that's the big tip for that. But if you download CAP 413, it'll show you how people are supposed to be talking. And other than that, it's just practice. Just constantly doing it. Doing it.
Abandoned UK, a brand new business class VIP. Yay. Thank you very, very much. A bit of support coming in towards the end of today's show.
Awesome. Welcome to VIP.
Welcome in a brand new supporter of the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, guys, we'd love you to become a VIP. It helps us to keep making improvements on the shows. If you'd like to do that, please hit the dollar symbol, then click join, or follow the Nightbot VIP links from the chats. You can also send in a little donation to the channel as well if you wish, which helps cover the costs of MatCam and things like that. And if we can get some 10 out of 10s in the chat today, because there it is, there's our second camera angle for today. MatCam has been on Southside all day doing an absolutely belting job, guys.
Phil was asking how bad does turbulence have to get before you put the seatbelt signs on. Again, that's in the Fear of Flying video. We talk about that. That's on the Airliners Live page. Not that bad. You want to get the seatbelts on and everyone strapped down early, and then the cabin will call you and tell you everyone's strapped down. And like I say on the video, we're listening ahead to people who are bleating ahead. And we had it the other day. We were down at, I think, 33,000 feet, and people up high were getting quite uncomfortable. And they were all asking to descend and get out of this turbulence. And it was quite good where we were. But yeah, I mean, I also, when I brief the cabin crew at the beginning of the day, I'll also tell, if it gets lumpy, you want the belts on, we haven't done it, give us a shout, or we'll put them on straight away.
Yeah, nice.
Got an interesting decal there on the Vueling. Not sure what it says. Spanish, I think.
Anyone in the chat, but a beautiful head-on of this Neo. Look at that, guys. Hotel Mike, MatCam in action. That is why we do MatCam. Look at that beautiful shot. EasyJet Neo about to depart for Sharm el Sheikh, and the Qatar triple is turning onto the ILS very, very shortly.
Hotel Mike's one of the heavyweight aircraft, that's why it's going to Sharm.
There you go. Mate, Matt is just, the way he's framing these shots, man, is just perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely great.
I've had to watch his back.
Michael B's asking, is it up to the captain to decide whether a medical situation is serious enough to have to divert a land? Do you get training? No, the cabin crew do. The cabin crew turn around to me and say, we need to be on the ground. We get on the ground. They're there with the person. And some, usually there's a doctor and nurse on board, and they'll say, we need to get this person down fairly sharpish. Norman's asking, why do all captains sound the same over the plane tannoy? As you can tell by my voice, I don't.
And Robson, thank you very much for the 199 super chat saying, can you shout out Megan Smith? She loves planes, eh, Megan? Thank you very much for tuning in today. Welcome, Megan. And thanks very much for the super chat, Robson.
Blackwell's asking, have I tried landing on Hong Kong's most dangerous airport runway? I've done Kai Tak in the sim before. I attack the old one?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I've done that in the sim before, yeah. 777 sim in my mate's garage, actually. It's good fun.
Thanks so much, Philip. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, mate.
Good man.
And Sanchez, thanks for tuning in on Twitch as well.
Make sure you subscribe to all and hit the bell icon to get notifications as to when we go live. And hit the like button if you haven't already on YouTube. We are having a push for 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. Currently getting very close. We reckon in the next few days we'll hit it.
Absolutely. We'll get Matt Cam back on the mic for wrapping up today's show.
Yeah, you might as well wrap up after the this EasyJet if it's not going to wait too long. I feel like it will be though. Whiskey Bravo, the A320.
There we go. Matthew, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Matty?
Can you know?
You're not like it. We're just going to get this Qatar triple, and then that's going to wrap us up, mate.
No problem, mate. Just let you know the Austrian's on the taxi out as well, mate. The Austrian.
Oh yeah, Starline special, absolutely. Yeah, we'll grab that as well. No worries. And absolutely 10 out of 10 job as well today, mate. Everyone in the chat loving it, picking out the planes that we can't find as well.
I appreciate that, mate. Nice one.
I had to go on that second beluga, and yet it did not happen. So I'm glad you found it. But no, absolutely mega show today. Mega views, mega shots, and loads going on as well. So nice one, dude. Next to land on the main runway is the Qatar triple, and as Matt says, we are looking for the Austrian, which is on the way out as well, currently crossed over and taxiing for departure. So the last couple of movements on today's show, folks. If you have enjoyed it, last chance, hit that like button for us. It really helps us a lot.
That Easy's going out in about 35 minutes, so it'll be sitting there for a while.
Wow.
I did message a mate at Jet2 about, because someone did ask earlier on, when's their new 321neo going to be in service? And he thinks it's in the next week or so, but he can't see that far ahead.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty soon.
We'll grab a quick line-up shot of this Star Alliance and then hot swap over to the triple just before it touches down, hopefully. Quite nice to catch the Austrian in the Star Alliance scheme. There it is. Fucking beautiful, guys. Look at that. Fantastic. Nice catch. Great scheme. A nice time for this Qatar 777. Final arrival on today's midweek show. And Greg saying Matcam is a game changer. Thank you, mate. I'm really glad it's working well.
The band in the UK is asking where I went to school. It was a public school in Harrow near Wembley. Not a very good school. I left school with 1C in GCSE maths, and the rest were all lower than that. If you work hard.
And there it is, the Qatar 777. We'll get Matt Cam to give us a wave as well, folks, to wrap up today's show, and that's going to be our final arrival. As I say, if you have enjoyed it today, do us a favour, smash that like button, and if you are new, don't forget to hit subscribe as well. But it really has been a great show today. Really enjoyed it. Great weather as well. It's been quite nice to have a little bit of sun today.
Nice change, eh?
Absolutely.
Maybe spring
Makes
is
all the difference.
finally getting here.
Oh look, who's this imposter? Planespotting Mike has been keeping him busy. There he is. There we go, the squad are out. Let's get some 10 out of 10s in the chat. Legends, there you go. and feel free to pack up. But well done, Matt. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers for today, and I'll give you a call shortly, dude. Absolute legends, and a very big thank you as well for our special guest today, Captain Mark, who was with us yesterday filming a video with us, which is out on our channel now. So make sure you go and give that a watch and a like. And yeah, cheers for joining us.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me.
Cheers,
pleasure.
Mark. Appreciate it. Yeah.
A lot of people in the chat have really enjoyed having questions answered. So no doubt we'll be getting Mark on very, very soon on another show, guys.
And Mark's got a new video on our YouTube channel. It got released yesterday evening, and it's about what's inside a pilot's flight bag. So, I mean, if you ever see him wheeling them around the airport, what is inside that bag? Well,
yeah. You have to find out, won't you?
Yeah, and watch till the end as well, because there's a fun surprise at the end, should I say. Definitely worth it. So,
one last line-up shot, shall we? One last line-up shot of that Pegasus.
Oh, someone said they were brothers on it, so we've got to get the Flybigs go. Flybig.com.
There you go.
Can we finish with a ninja?
Go on, then.
Go on, then. We'll have one more ninja, shall we? One more ninja. It's coming up. Watch out. Oh, here we go. Bosh. Ladies and gents. What can you say? That's how we do it here on Airliners Live. We don't take it too serious, folks. It's been an absolutely mega stream today. I hope you've enjoyed it. What a midweek show. I love that. Time for the cafe now. Spot of lunch with Mark. Keep your eye on our socials, maybe, for a little while. Maybe. We'll see. Big shout out to Andy up on the roof. As usual, absolutely smashing it on the main cam. Mr. Matty Boy Smith on the south cam. Thank you very much, dude. Absolutely stellar job, as always. And again, Captain Mark here in the studio with me, keeping things fun and entertaining. And I've been Martin as well, pressing all the buttons, bringing you all the views here from Manchester. We're back live tomorrow evening in Vancouver with Mr. Henry Temby. And back live here from Manchester for your Super Sunday show, bright and early, 10 a.m. See you there, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Take care. See ya.
So let's me now. You don't wanna show me